But all right, so let's read the actual document now. Let's see what is said in here. Oh, also let me scoot myself over. There we go, perfect. I wanted to share my experience with Cinder and Red manipulating me, using me, and dragging me into drama while sabotaging, slandering, and spreading lies about people I thought were her closest friends. Not only do I no longer wish to work with Cinder, but I want to share what I've endured over the years and shed light on what she has been doing behind people's backs to protect artists and friends that may be experiencing something similar. I struggle a lot with writing this document, and wasn't sure if what I felt or experienced working was real or just burnout, but I think it proves that I was lied and manipulated over the course of the years while working with Cinder. Note, based on working with Redacted, Red, Cinder's manager, and Cinder over the years, I am sure they speak for each other, and there is no reason to believe Red was acting without Cinder's consent and knowledge. Whenever I use they or them, it refers to both of them acting as a team. So I will jump ahead a little bit. Because this is relevant. This is gonna be very relevant. So, Red, Cinder has responded to the allegations. There's gonna be 3 documents that we're gonna read here from 3 different large creators about their experience with Cinder. And in response, Cinder has said, effective immediately, Redacted will no longer be my manager or oversee my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a creator, my brand, or my intentions. I'm sorry, everyone. I will make a larger response when I'm able. That's what she said, right? Kind of a fucking shit. Also, fucking gold checkmark loser. But kind of a shit response, right? But here's the thing. She's probably lying. Because do you know who Red is? Red's her boyfriend! Red is her boyfriend who's been posing as her manager this whole time! Which, I want to note it again, there is nothing wrong with having a relationship in VTubing or even keeping it private from people. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing that people shouldn't be privy to your personal information. But what this proves here is that she's lying. Is that more than likely what is happening is that she's not breaking up with Red. She's simply going to publicly execute Red, the persona, and then pin it all on him, blame everything on him, and then he'll reappear as a mod or something later on, but nothing's going to change about their relationship. They're not suddenly going to break up over this drama. That's ridiculous. No, she wasn't dating her manager. No, Pastry. You're completely misreading this. She was never dating her manager. She was dating her boyfriend. She was dating her boyfriend who posed as her manager. It's the opposite. It's the complete opposite. This is not a matter of someone got a manager and started dating them. It's they were dating someone and then they labeled themselves as their manager. Technically, alleged boyfriend, but there are multiple distinct sources saying they were a couple. Yeah. Also, Arrow, thank you for the gifts up to Red, other Red. There's almost a procedure for this at this point. On personality cancels their partner and tries to continue on. Yeah. It applies if you turn your manager into your boyfriend. Technically, alleged boyfriend. Yeah. But because this tweet right here, I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you first debuted like 4 years ago. So next to you, like physically in the same room. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met at Twitch for TwitchCon, you switched it up and said, just so you know, my manager's coming with me on this trip. Wink. As if I didn't know who he was. It's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other, and you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as a friend by nuking the Red side of the duo. Yeah. And just nuking the persona. Like, that's the reality here, is that she's not... More than likely, they are not going to end their relationship. There's no one's breaking up with anyone over this. It's simply like the public persona is getting killed off in an attempt to keep her brand running, which is so slimy. So slimy. Okay, continuing on. She will publicly behead her boyfriend. I wanted to share my experience with Cinder. Red manipulated me. Okay, yeah, so let's see. I started a lot with writing this document. Okay, we did that. Note based on the working redaction. Yeah. So we read that too. Sorry, I'm still catching up to where I was. English not being my first language and language barrier, I discussed this situation with my feelings and thoughts with native English speakers who helped me put them into words so everything is clear without any misunderstandings due to lack of English skills. Note, any names that are censored here were censored because the creator in question did not provide consent to have their name revealed by the time of posting my document. Slandering other creators. I will start with the screenshots showing them speaking ill of other creators and spreading rumors while manipulating me, and that is all in their best interest. In addition, spreading ill rumors, they also complain and accuse Bao of giving their editor too much work, resulting in the editor not having any time for new clients, which will be important later on. The screenshot below show them showing their affection and appreciation immediately followed by spreading rumors and lies to make other clients appear problematic, to manipulate any further future discussions regarding commissions. So what they're trying to do is get negative word spread about other large creators so that they won't be in the queue, so that they will themselves have more accessibility to the commissions that they want, which is extremely fucking deranged. OFC, I wanted to understand it better, specifically if I cancel her for the second time, lol. Well, with Blank, she's given a lot of bias and priority at GamerSucks, sometimes over Cinder, and we can't really confront them about it, and plus she's gone 3D lately. Okay, I don't know who that is they're talking about that's with GamerSucks, but it's somebody. Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor a while ago and is constantly picking up artists that we work with. We've gotten to know her better, being friends with her, but she really rubs us the wrong way with the things she does. We want to try and safeguard our most important artists from her, since she's already taken our editor, and I don't mean taken like he doesn't work with us anymore. He does, but he has to dedicate time for her now, and sometimes that gets in the way of our projects. Also, one of Bao's MV editors is the one that did the Boss Rush MV, and we're 99% sure she told him not to do any more with us. But like, model art is the most important thing that's a VTuber's entire image. One of the artists has come out as Bao said herself. Yeah. God forbid an editor had to have a fucking schedule. Yeah. We love working with you. Cinder wouldn't be Cinder without Nano. Okay, but like, let me tell you the tea about the MV thing. Bao originally had original songs last year that had MVs by her editor, and the songs flopped. Her editor met us at TwitchCon and said that he'd love to work with us, particularly jumping through hoops to get some planned. We managed to have him squeeze in the Boss Rush MV between his work with Bao. He said he loved working on it and is super excited to work on the next MV project. Boss Rush song blows up, and he's credited as the editor. I asked him when he's free to do the next project. All of a sudden, he changes his mind and is only working with Bao going forward. No explanation. Huh. There's some context missing since we know how Bao is behind the scenes. Basically, we don't have an MV editor now for our next Boss Rush project. We think Bao got pissed that her editor did an original song MV for her friends without her knowing, and did 100 times better than her original songs last year, and she locked him up so no one else could work with him. And then had him make it public on Twitter that he was only working with her going forward, like literally announcing an announcement tweet. And now she's been barking up the tree of one of our live 2D animators to like NU and a Nano model. Yeah, looking for me sounds sus for sure. It's so annoying. I came in. Oh, she has a way of guilt tripping people to get her way, and that sounds convincing, right? These posts sound so, because that's the thing that's interesting, is that this does sound like a deranged top VTubing star. This is a very similar thing that I would expect someone to do. I assume they're lying here and this isn't actually true, but like, if I was in Nano's situation, if I was in their position, I would believe this. I would absolutely believe that Bao was doing this, because this sounds very, like, it sounds like something that I hear about a lot in VTubing, of people being weird and shitty to each other. Red asked me to cancel on one of their closest friends, Bao, by asking me to cancel my work mid-progress, manipulating me into thinking it's okay since she has many connections and she'll be fine anyway, so I wouldn't feel guilty or worry too much. I was and is upsetting to me that Red contacted me specifically to check on me canceling the model that I planned with Bao. That's so weird. That's so weird. That's so weird to try to get somebody else's commission canceled. Like, bizarre. Yes, Bao has responded, yeah. This is weird. All caps. Did you cancel models? I did not. Nano arc delayed to 2026. I'm scared to cancel with Bao. You shouldn't be. She has so many connections. She'll find someone super fast. Did you already design her outfit? If I remember her showing it to us at WeebCon. Yeah, I can give her the design for free as an apology gift. That's crazy. This is nuts. That's insane. Going back to them, demanding someone cancel their product so they can work with you is a crazy way to act. Exclusivity and backlashing other creators. In the messages below, they mentioned wanting an exclusivity contract, but they didn't want to pay for exclusivity. But rather, when the creator from their blacklist comes asking for commissions, they would guarantee me model work for Cinder only. And if anyone asked me for commissions, they'd commission me instead for compensation for not working with creators. What? What an insane fucking plan! So they're basically saying, here's a list of people we don't want you to work with, and anytime they ask for a model, we'll pay you for a model? That's crazy. That's fucking crazy, dude. That is one of the most deranged things I've ever heard a VTuber do. It feels very strange given that one of the accusations they made was overworking their editor, yet the solution to me working with other creators was for them to essentially overwork me to keep me from working on other projects. Yeah. Messages below show that their primary concern is that the model non-Cinder models the more non-Cinder models I make, the less valuable my existing models become. What? It's hard to say how much this messed with my mind as an artist, that by working with other people, I'd somehow be making my existing models less special. Following screenshots is of them sitting up the blacklist, saying I'm not allowed to work with any new clients to create any new outfits for VTuber 1 specifically to justify those things by saying that with each model, my art becomes less unique and special, and therefore Cinder somehow will become less special. Screenshots below. The idea that my work as an artist and designer is devalued by working with other people is insane and hurtful. After realizing what taking a deal with them would really mean for both my workload and my mental health, I backed out. Yeah, understandably. Under-fucking-standably. This is nuts. Yeah, exclusivity, but they don't want to play. They want to play mind games. Yeah. Does Nano come out of this unscathed? Oh, absolutely! It looks like. Yeah, this looks like they were fucking being fucking pulled around by a couple of weirdos. Might need to talk to a lawyer. But breach of contract lawsuit sense is tingling. Oh man, this is crazy. You could open yourself up to breach of contract lawsuits. I don't even know what you're talking about with breach of contract lawsuits. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, they haven't signed any contracts. This is weirdos being weird in the DMs with them, which is not what that's what's happening. This is actually psychotic. Yeah, they're super respected in the VTuber community. Yeah, I don't see in any way that they look bad through this. This just looks awful on Cinder and their boyfriend. Okay, continuing on though. I mean, like, if we wanted to have some kind of model exclusivity, what would you need to make that sustainable for you? Maybe you can share one of your ideas, and I can check what I think. Okay, so I got some ideas for this, I guess. I was driving, what are you thinking? Okay, so ask help from friends. They don't know it's you, don't worry. So monthly fee, calculating my monthly earnings. Also, how long would this be, and if this counts for models I already worked on. Okay, so Nano immediately proposes, if you want exclusivity, you gotta literally pay my living expenses. You gotta pay, you're paying a monthly fee to keep me locked down as your exclusive artist. Like, which is totally fair. That's very fair. If you want to pay for an artist all their time, you're gonna fucking pay for all their time, motherfucker. But what does cheap asses come in with? What do the cheap passes come in with? Well, I think the main things we're looking for are you not to take on any brand new model clients and not make any new model outfits with blank again. You'd still be able to work with model outfits with all of your other existing babies, and your artwork comms wouldn't be affected. One of our concerns is that more nano babies means nano models don't have the same value anymore. And second is that there's few people. That's so fucking bizarre. That's such a weird mindset. Oh yeah, I'm less valuable because Mossy took more commissions. What are you, fucking high? What? And the second is that there's few people that we just would rather not be able to not have a model from you. Maybe not any new babies at all. The reason why I brought this up at all is that there's been a lot of bias with another one of our partners with certain creators, and we'd rather these creators not have what makes Cinder unique, which is your artwork. Just drama. Is this like Kaiba ripping up the fourth Boys White Dragon? Yes, it is exactly like that. It is exactly like that. Yeah, let me dictate your business without telling you what we're offering in return. Yeah. Pay me a monthly wage if you want me as an exclusive. Not how about we just commission you if someone wants to hire you, so we have no financial obligation to keep you. You're be able to pay your bills. Yeah, this is nuts. What about we pay blank for you and you don't have to discount it from the next payment, and we'll continue giving you lots of model work. I think for this year right now, 4 models, 4 models, dude. There is so much brain rot in upper level VTubing. It's crazy. 4 models in 1 year? Oh, come the fuck on. Cinder's model looks like 30 other models anyway. Yeah. Do you have the other document from 1 hour ago? Yes, I have another. I have a 4th document that just came up. I've got everything lined up. Yeah. They're trying to be Iron Mouse. And Iron Mouse can do it because she has $1 bajillion. Like, she's fucking infinitely rich. So it doesn't matter. You can just pay a million artists to do 1 million models. It doesn't matter. We'll pay you anytime someone commissions you, so you don't die of starvation. No one commissions them because they keep refusing work. Yeah. You don't work with blank, or blank at all again, models or art. I don't think I've ever done anything with blank or blank before. We also have another GS label for you too, the AFK. Is there any way to wait a little bit, add a little bit, since blank still asks for art every now and then? We could do it like when blank asks for art, you tell her no, and then tell us to buy another art piece, like so you still get a job from us. This is so crazy. Another example of speaking ill of other creators, right after they saw I was working with Shy Lily, trying to once again make the idea of working with other clients seem like I am setting myself up with problematic people who will do me no good in the long run to get me to reconsider working for them. That's crazy. Dude, so Shy Lily and Cinder are both partial owners of this fucking company, and they hate each other. What the fuck? They also continuously kept asking about my other clients' plans, which for them made the antenna go up, and immediately went into slandering Lily. They consistently tried to reassure me that despite their best efforts, that they just happened to keep trying to bring drama in as reasons for me to go exclusive, and that working only with Cinder, with Cinder is them trying to look out for me.
The American people are tired of women.
A week before this, she had an IRL concert with Bao, I think. Oh, nice hair ties. I was like, thank you, Wise. Thank you. Hey, Nano, do you have more plans with Lily besides just the model, like outfits or merch or anything? Been just the model so far. Okay, her asking you for a model recently just made the antenna go up. She's been acting weird towards Cinder lately, and we don't know if something is going on. Oh, what? That's weird. Ever since after V card launched. Oh, really? Interesting. But what would you consider weird? Oh, ooh, okay, we're getting some details here. This is very relevant to my interests. Lately, dipping out of collabs they were both a part of at the last minute, and now ghosting her messages. Cinder raided her a couple of times in the past week, and Lee won't acknowledge Cinder by name. I mean, if that's true, that is really weird. But also what I would expect out of Lily. Shy Lily is a bad person, so I mean, whether it's true or not, Shy Lily sucks, Chad. Don't forget that. Just like weird petty stuff IDK. That's super weird since they both share the same store. Around VCart's launch, they were talking and collabing about IDK, what happened. But her asking you for a model after this was just weird, even though she said she doesn't plan on getting a new model anytime soon. I don't know, I hate we keep bringing you into drama. Yeah, I thought it was quite early to go for a new model. Blank looked a bit menacing, so I don't talk to her. Feels like we're gonna have to compete with Lily if she's ghosting Cinder and wants the same model mama. Compete. This is the brain rot, dude. The absolute fucking brain rot. We have to compete against each other. Chat, do you think I'm competing against Variedetta right now? Do you think Vari and me are competing against each other because we're both live at the same time? Because we're both streaming at the same time? No, that's fucking crazy! That's what crazy people think! That's nuts! Sure, yes. Sometimes, yes. Bitter rivalry. On who can suck more dick, of course. Fight Vari, prove your dominance. Okay, yeah. The idea that they need to, quote, stay informed or, quote, gauge the competition is extremely upsetting. Yeah, it's crazy toxic. Like, that level, we just fucking lampooned and made fun of that, right? This level of, like, brain rot is crazy. That you would think that you were in competition with your friends and colleagues, it's nuts. You're not. You're not. Who the fuck are you in competition with? Everyone can thrive and do extremely well. There are millions of viewers on this site every single day. It's an average of like 2.5 million people or more visiting Twitch every single day. How the fuck? Like, you're squabbling over dozens of people for no reason. This is crazy. It's crazy mindset. It's extremely upsetting and toxic to me. The competition they're referring to are people I thought they considered friends, who always helped support and platform Cinder. Yeah, that's the other thing is, like, these people allow you on their platform. They promote you actively to their audience. They shout you out. They retweet you. They speak positively to you about you to other creators. Why the fuck do you think you're in competition with them? That's nuts! You're crazy! When I pushed back, the immediate response was blaming the other creators, implying that they, quote, initiated it by trying to work with me and that somehow justify their actions. They imply Lily ignored Cinder when she spent over a minute thanking the raid, which you could see in this clip. Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on. Let's see the evidence. Let's see the evidence, chat.
Ignore what you just saw. Okay. Ooh! Oh my goodness! Hello! Oh! Hello, Raiders! Hello! I am playing Berserker. It's called The Last Berserker Kazan. We were sponsored, but the game was really fun, so I just kept playing for like a million more hours. Hello, everyone! Hello!
Okay, it is kind of, I will say, it is a little bizarre that she's not saying Cinder's name. Like, she just said Raiders, and she's not... That is there. That is a little weird. And honestly, like, as I said before, she's not a good person. Charlie's not a good person. Charlie has a bunch of problems, too, so it's possible that there is some kind of issue between the two of them. But it doesn't matter, right? Like, this is still crazy to try to, like, oh, there's some kind of issue between the two of them, and instead of discussing it between them, you try to take their artists away? That's nuts.
The Pyropop raid. Hello, Pyropops. What did you guys do? I am low-key addicted. I usually... Okay, so most people know me for my gacha addiction, but I really like Souls-like games and similar mechanics.
This is the one issue I have with the doc. The clip of the raid isn't a gacha. The issue is that she didn't refer to Cinder by name when she did not do whatsoever. She acknowledged the raid, but Cinder herself, which is what the manager brought up. Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, that is weird. That, right? I mean, that doesn't justify the actions at all, but it does kind of show that Shy Lily is being really weird, which I wouldn't be shocked with her at all. Because I'll be real, I think that Shy Lily also has the same toxic mindset about other creators. Based on her behavior and actions, I think that she is in that same camp of people who would throw people under the bus to get a leg ahead of other people. So this kind of, it does kind of just show that is what that's showing. No one can have you but me. I know artists that have to deal with this underage shit. Yeah. Especially in Insecure, because she acknowledged on stream and her parents and the business doesn't thrive for being antisocial to other competitors. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is just Cinder and Blank you've been doing a continuous model outfits for. We'll have the Demon update list plus final arcade reference for you soon as it's finished. I think it is. I have outfit for Blank Plan 2. As for Blank, nothing for now, but she always comes up with something. Do you know who is rigging Lily's model? Gonna be Blank. Thanks, Nano. Sorry for all the questions. Gotta stay informed, especially when it comes to our top artists. Never a break. That's they asked this. They asked this so they can probably go to that artist too, that rigger too, and try to get them to stop working with them as well. That's what's happening. Don't worry, just don't stress too much with this side of things. It's bad for balding. I'm gonna go bald now. I'll keep you up on the loop about anything else going on with that. The balding. No, you fool. Just stupid drama. Gotta stay competitive even when we shouldn't have to. Also, your PFP looks like a guy with a mustache. What the? Stop with the competition. It's not a competition, you fucking weirdo. You fucking weirdo. Dude, this is such a bizarre mindset. There is no competition. Don't go too far into the competitiveness. It can get bad. Gotta chill sometimes. Hey, it's not us. No, what do you mean it's not us? It's literally you. It is quite literally you. You are fucking involving yourself in this. What do you mean? Oh my god. We aren't the ones getting a model from artists of other gamer subs owner out of the blue and ghosting them and refusing to acknowledge them. Below, I wanted to push back and make it clear I was uncomfortable on being dragged into drama, and they responded by bringing up more drama and baseless claims, all while trying to guilt trip me. It is ironic and crazy to me that I mentioned not wanting to be dragged into personal issues, only for them to, on multiple occasions, mention other people's alleged drama. Told and sippy, though. I guess they're trying to angle as if they weren't being so toxic, we wouldn't take these measures, which is crazy. Yeah, like the things they're describing are things that should be discussed between those two creators. It should be discussed between Cinder and Lily, and that's it. Cinder just wanted to say sorry for stepping back on the exclusivity deal. Well, wait, they already stepped back on it? Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Nano said no to them. Okay. Wanted to apologize personally to you since I've only talked about it with Red, but I just don't want to be dragged on any personal issues like that. After all, Blank is still a client, and it makes me anxious. It kind of destroys my mental to do this kind of deal. Just want to let you know I still love you working with you and Red, but I'll understand if things doesn't work out because of Blank. I just love my clients, that's all. I get it, Nano. It was unfair to push you on this, but it just really confusing going back and forth about it. I just get compared to her a lot, even still today, and it's like I'm always living in someone's shadow, which is one reason why Red asked not making any more models for her. And when you said I understand things don't work out, it makes me feel like you're okay with not working with me anymore, which hurts so much after all this time. I really appreciate you, Nano, and it's your decision with your ultimately work with, but it's not how I've been feeling. I don't really see the point in keeping thinking about being compared to Blank. You're so much bigger already. You've done so much more. But I would never give Blank any priority over you. Also, there's not even any models for her being discussed. I just want to sleep clear-minded. Also, I'm fine not doing her model, but at least Gamer Subs art stuff would be fine with me. I don't want to be 100% an asshole to her. That's all. It's not me, but other people's opinions of us. And I'm just trying to not get involved in any drama that other people want to talk about comparing us. But I understand where you're coming from, Nano. That's no hard feelings. Sorry about this, and my mental is just a bit weak. Why are you talking like this? Is such a brain rot issue. Oh wow, people are comparing us. They're comparing us. Who cares? This is another thing. The audiences you are trying to attract are dumb. They're dumb, and they need to compare like things to like things. Also, you're doing the exact same style of content as these other people. A lot of these top Twitch VTubers are all doing the exact same shit. It's the same archetype. There's nothing different. There's nothing unique. You're all just playing video games and yapping and doing lewd jokes sometimes, which is fine. I'm not saying that's bad content, but I'm saying it is all the same content. So, of course, you're going to be compared to when you visually, audibly, and via what you do are the exact same as other people. Of course, you're going to be compared to those people. What do you mean? What do you mean? Of course, the models have similarities. They're made by the same artists, who I imagine have a distinctive art style. The internet hurts my brain in case. Well, it's not just that. I don't think it's just the models that they're being compared to. I think it's also other things. And showing tits. Arthur, don't forget tits. True. Yes, also the tits. Let's see. Sorry about this. My handle's just a week. Same girl. Oh, I'm so sorry for bringing this to you. I want you to get that money. The whole situation is kind of sucky. I just want to get along. Understand things didn't work out about this. It would be mostly if you hate me for not burning blank down in front from my list. I would never hate you. Thank you. And the same. I'm just insecure. I love everything we've done together, and I want to keep doing more. People saying dumb shit online just makes me stressed. Why are you fucking... Stop it. Justifying their behavior by stating that they are simply looking out for me when none of this has anything to do with me to begin with, and manipulating me into being grateful for earning well thanks to them despite the loss of work for a long time, returning clients and new clients. Concerning my work models as a team. Another example of going after other clients of mine from before, claiming that having more clients alongside them makes my work less special. With the recurrence is it's just business, manipulating me into believing that work with her is special for multiple reasons, that I risk losing my special something as a client if I prefer to work with others. No acknowledgement of my reasoning and need to work with other clients due to the nature of my work, solely focused on their issues. I would also like to note again that this screenshot is one of many occasions that indicate that Red speaks on Cinder's behalf. I was originally concerned that with everything going through Red, that it may not have been 100% of Cinder's feelings or wants. I messaged her about it to make sure he spoke on her behalf and confirmed with both of them that this was the case. So this is just 100% confirmation that this is crazy. Also, this makes this part later, it makes the whole Cinder like shutting down then saying like I'm not working with this person anymore so much crazier, considering that she is 100% confirmed in this document that he speaks for her. Like, firing him now doesn't change that. It doesn't. Hey, Cinder, hope you're doing okay. I talked with Red, and I believe I talked to you already. I thought it would be best if I just check her here personally. I actually wanted to know better your thoughts, because Red tried to talk to me, and I think I misunderstood things. I'm doing good. What's up, Nano? And then, it shows the DM. I thought about canceling some models because of it, but then I realized it's not really fair to me. Okay. And then, so what does Cinder say? I understand what this means, but at the end of the day, it's just business. Of course, we love working with you and want to keep working together, but if you prefer to work with other clients instead of me, I know this is it's for a reason, for you to help grow and not because you don't like me. Yeah, okay, yeah. So she's totally down with this idea. This is not just like whatever she's gonna. If she tries to say it wasn't me, it was Red. Ooh, then she's lying, and because she's just said it right there, definitively. Being one of your very first model babies was amazing. I was happy to be able to find someone to help with you with live 2D cutting to improve your skills, and I think it's a big part of why everyone loved the 1.0 model and then started asking you for them. I can have Red send you a list of our plans for future and estimate due dates, so let us know what you actually want to work on. That way, I have time to look for someone else if you don't have time for my projects or I don't want to do them. It feels special to only have your model art from all my outfits, but just let me know if you don't want have time for me to be an exclusive Nano art baby anymore. So yeah, this is manipulation, by the way. These last two paragraphs are trying to manipulate her into working with her by making her feel bad that I guess you just don't want to work with me anymore. Like that's what those paragraphs are for. Yeah, how could you hurt your babies? Yeah. It's no personal reason I would never do something like this to you or anyone, but yeah, it's important for my job to reach far, and I like working on different projects and people. I never said I don't want to work with you anymore. I told Red that even though I have my other work, I will always have a way to get a priority spot when possible. You're always my special baby. I also think it's important for you to work on projects that you're excited about, so I'll go through my plans with Red and send you other ideas if it's possible with your schedule. I know it can be a little pushy sometimes, but it's because he's just doing business for me to grow too, and he absolutely loves your work as much as I do. Okay, I will update you guys ASAP. Sounds good to me. Red tries to make it look like they never meant for it to appear like they wanted me to be exclusive by framing it as something I wanted, while immediately doubling down on the fact that me working with more people makes my work less special and no longer unique, as if every design is just a Cinder clone. Oh my god. Oh my God. So it's about working with Cinder. My friends told me it's a bit unfair for me to stop other models, so I do more of a Cinder, which I agree with them. I'm a free artist, and I should do whatever I want to do. I don't want to take sides on any drama or situations. I still will always have a way to open slots for a Cinder, but I won't be having her as my only customer. I agree you're a free artist, and you should do what you want, but I was under the impression that taking on more Cinder work is what you wanted to do. I didn't think it was like we were making you do that. What do you fuck? What? What? I guess we just got a misunderstanding on both sides. It's more about this, and literally tags the post where he says this, and then all right. Oh, I see. I mean, what I said is still true about how we feel, but I wasn't saying you had to only do Cinder work from now on. That's with another, with anything though, not just your work. If you have someone special and that everyone wants and it gets the thing, it makes it less special. I'm sorry you were under the impression that we were trying to make you only work with us. I will keep things more business talk and less emotional, lol. Just let me know if you want to affect your schedule so I can tell Cinder after. Sorry about the stress. What the fuck? Rare example of genuine gaslighting. Yeah, no, it's so scary. Like I've seen stuff like this before. I have seen people shit talk each other in private, and I've seen people try to destroy business and relationships all over the place in VTubing. This happens, right? But I have never seen something to this blatant level of tortious interference and manipulation. Like, this is someone they are doing their best to damage other people's ability to progress with their careers by taking away opportunities from them directly. Like, this is the most I'm in competition brain rot I've ever seen. All this emotional blackmail, this is not a good person. Yeah. But every single model I do is unique, and I make them special in their own way. It's not like I'm selling Cinder to everyone. Please don't feel this way. Yeah, like, that's gross. Like, that's what it's making Nano feel like, right? It's making them feel like, oh, I'm only valuable because I made the Cinder model. And every other model I make is just a clone of the Cinder model. And if I keep doing models, then I'm just devaluing the Cinder model. That's a gross way to think about art, right? Like, my model is different than all other models that Mossy has made. Just because we have a similar style, because Mossy has a very specific style, doesn't mean that I am a clone of whoever else that they've worked with, right? Like, I'm not a clone of Onikana. Like, like, that's ridiculous. It's a crazy thought process. No, I know you pour your heart and soul into models, and they are all incredible. I'm sorry I made you both feel this way. It's simply business. Normalizing their behavior once again by stating that this is simply business to sabotage other VTuber creators and not work with them.
Honestly, crazy that some of these screenshots are as far back as 2 years ago.
Yeah. I assume that they felt weird about this, but something else has probably happened recently that has made this come to the forefront and become an even bigger issue. Trying to convince an artist that the more work they create, the less valuable their work will have is genuinely cruel. It's cruel in so many different ways, right? It's more than just cruelty for creativity. It's a destruction of creativity, and it's a damage to someone's creative drive. But it also is damaging financially too, right? Because artists should, if they have the drive and the passion to, create as much art and commissions as they possibly can, because the more commissions you make, the more money you make, the better your standard of living is, right? If you are comfortable mentally and physically to do a heavy workload, you absolutely should do that if that's what you're passionate about. And to try to convince people otherwise is extremely harmful. Okay, let me keep going. It's okay, Nano. You're just making a living and making a name for yourself, and I can't blame you for accepting work from other big names in the industry and having very desirable talent. If you end up filling your model schedule again like it was, let me know. We'll have to replan some things depending on that. Another manipulation tactic there of trying to make them feel bad about taking commissions. Thank you for understanding my side. We all trying to have our name somewhere. Just don't take it personally or anything. I still love working with you guys. And again, I apologize for the trouble on your plans. I still revisit my list to see what I got. Business is business. If you want to go through the projects we talked about and let them know which ones you want to do. This is about blank model Nano. Let's see. Yeah, I want to take it, but I don't want to disrespect Cinder. Just want to do pretty models, no hurt feelings. Business is business. Nano, you're a freelance artist, and Blank is a longtime client, so it makes sense to continue doing work for her. I understand the logistics of it. At the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you. You should have never asked someone to not work with another artist in the first place. Why is this even a conversation that needs to happen? I really appreciate for your understanding on my side, especially when they're a longtime customer. What the fuck? I do understand your side too, but sadly, it's something between you two, not me. I shouldn't get involved in this fight. I just go art bird. Yeah, exactly. Right, I know. I just didn't think our other conversation sounded like I was trying to make you not work with her on the mall. You literally said you were literally making them. That was what you were pushing for. You were pushing for an exclusivity contract so they wouldn't work with that person anymore. What is this gaslighting? Oh my god, man. Maybe I just consider the situation too much of my mistake for thinking that way. It's okay, but we are good for real. It feels like a weird breakup. I'm stressing. Me and you are good, but still tells all this to Cinder. I'll be fine. Don't worry. I think she's still sleeping. Damage control. Making sure none of this reaches the other VTubers is all kept hush-hush, while also providing proof that they know what they did is ill-intended and should not get out, as it would cause issues for Cinder's career to be painted in this light. Note that that the uncalled shot at VTuber 1 is even spoilered, a hidden message in Discord, so it wouldn't accidentally be leaked. Oh boy. I try to be transparent as much as possible. I think it's more fair for both sides. You didn't tell Blank you canceled because of Cinder, did you? No, I told all of them it was health issues. I would never blame anyone besides Blank. Lol, we never wanted to make you feel like you were making you or forcing you to not work on something, especially if this is something you want to do, don't want to do. All our conversations the other day wasn't meant to convince you of only doing Cinder work. Again, sorry that it sounded like like I was telling you only to do Cinder's work. I'll message you later. Well, let's see if Blank wants a nano model or not, and I hope Blank finds someone else. Oh my god. The constant obsession with VTuber 1 and claiming that she's asking for it by causing is this unspoken competition, which is coming from absolutely no other source than Cinder herself. Just offer exclusive pay rates if you want exclusivity. None of this was necessary. Yeah, none of the mentioning other VTubers in general, should have ever come up with this. If you want exclusivity with an artist, just pay them exclusivity contract. But they were being cheap asses and didn't want to. That's what this was all about at the end of the day. They wanted to target specific people and get specific people to not have art by this artist, while also not paying a true rate of what they should be paying for something like that. I think it's more like wanting her to recognize Cinder even though it literally doesn't matter. I feel like there's this unspoken competition between them. Like they need to one-up each other because Blank can't get along. What the fuck are you talking about? But I also understand her point of view. A new VTuber who people say looks, sounds, and acts like you becomes just as successful as you in a year. Okay, that's Shy Lily. This is probably Shy Lily, I'm guessing, that they're talking about. If she did recognize Cinder as an equal or a friend, then it would be like she endorsing her copy, or like I've seen some people say her replacement. They share a lot of the same audience too. Absolutely, Shy Lily? Yeah, probably. Because don't they... Hasn't Cinder's voice been compared to Shy? Shy Lily has a very specific intonation that has been compared to a lot of people with a specific accent, which is kind of icky. I don't know. It's very annoying. I'm sure to people. Let's see. And the marketing potential and money they could make if they teamed up. I just know anything we do, she's watching and will take from or try out to do. Oh my god, the spinning figure we have on stream. Blank figure was announced on Wednesday, no spinning figure. Cinder debuts Saturday, everyone hears about it. Figure announced, spinning figure on screen with figure right next to me. Blank stream yesterday, the first stream since Cinder's debut. Guess what? Spinning figure with figure next to it. Then, a month later, unfollowed her on Twitter and started taking her ideas, the flames. And now she's basically rebranded to more of a fire sleepers. Okay, no, this is not Shallow. This is a completely different VTuber. Okay. Using fire emojis all the time in SMH. Never did that before. It's funny because she used to call herself a hellhound, but stopped when Cinder grew past her and now uses a Cerberus, a Cerber pup, whatever her lore says she is, IDK. The unfollow is weird. Yeah, so it's like there's also unproved tweets from her, I didn't copyright anyone else for my design. My design is all me. This is who I am. Huh? Who are you saying that to? Oh, lol, on random Cinder clips on YouTube, there was one dedicated Blank fan or some that she knew, IDK, that would comment on these clips saying, when are you going to clip Blank only on Cinder clips? Spite is the person that they're referring to. Okay, that's, yeah. I like to highlight the irony of expecting to be entirely entitled to recognition for her own efforts of size when her own active efforts are tied to sabotaging the very same VTuber, also feeling entitled and insisting to be recognized for someone else's odd. Thanks for taking the time to read through everything. I hope everything makes sense to everyone who has been hurt, manipulated, sabotaged by her will find closure. Spite and Cinder models have similarities in the flame department. Okay. I mean, even if this stuff's true, even if this weird stuff is true and this person is actually doing this is still bizarre. Like, if you have this problem, don't drag, first of all, you're not in competition with this person. That person's being weird. You should talk about this if this is happening, right? If this was happening, if this person was being weird and trying to, copy you very blatantly and steal all your ideas, then talk about that to, the public or something. If you have a problem with them, stop going behind their backs and trying to fuck with them. That's a bizarre way to handle the situation. Also, you're not in competition with other people. That's the other crazy thing about this. There's no competition. That person is being bizarre by trying to copy you in the first place. That's like if Sui started became an imp VTuber and started talking about the news. I'd just be like, oh, well, it's kind of weird. But okay, I mean, I'm sure he has his own spin on it. It's just, what, oh, God. From what I've seen, Spite and Cinder have a very different stream feel, though. So Bao also had experiences. With them as well. And here is Bao's document on this. Hello, this is Bao. I will only speak to what Nanolist has decided to share with the public and the messages that I directly mentioned by name. I would like to kindly ask everyone to refrain from turning this into a witch hunt and remember that we are still just humans at the end of the day. Before I start, I want to point out why I'm addressing both Cinder and Red, despite the messages being largely from Red. Many times throughout the messages, the words we're, our occurred numerous times. As someone who was close to and worked with Cinder for years, I have firsthand experience on how Cinder and Red collaborate and the extent of which Red operates as her primary point of contact in her professional and personal projects. It is that experience that leads me to believe that all requests and messages sent by Red were both known about and approved by Cinder. In March 2024, I announced that one of my subathon goals was a live 2D model. Nanolist was going to be the live 2D illustrator, and she finished both the design and base model sketch. There was suddenly back and forth on whether or not she had the physical and mental capacity to continue my model. I was very sad and not only teased a screenshot of my model sketch on Twitter, but I had grown very attached to the design and somehow showed it to all my friends. In a private group chat with Cinder I was part of, I shared how devastated that I was that she did not comment or say anything despite others in the group chat comforting and reassuring me. Okay, that's a little crazy. I will say, this is a lot. There's a lot of crazy in a lot of these messages. That is a little weird to, okay, you're in a group chat with your friends and one person doesn't say anything about a specific issue you're having, and then you're like, why didn't you say anything? That's a little weird, Bao, okay? Yeah, that's the brainworms writhing. Yes, she was right to guess that something was going on with Cinder, but that is a bizarre reason to guess it. I now realize that the reason for her silence was because Cinder and Redacted were deliberately sabotaging ongoing commissions and blocking VTubers such as myself from having access to art from Nanolist. And these are, let's see, these are all the messages that we already read these. Nanolist asked Redacted on why he is encouraging her to not finish my model. Redacted then lists my name amongst various VTubers as well as the vendettas Cinder and Redacted harbor against each. Bao has been getting on her nerves for a while. She hijacks our YouTube editor, consistently picking up artists that we work with. Now she's barking up the tree for one of our live 2D animators. Has a way of guilt-tripping others to get her way. This is what Redacted lists as reasons why Nanolist should cancel her ongoing live 2D commissions with me, all the while continuing to collaborate with me and pretending to be my friend. This is not what friends do. Friends do not sabotage other friends out of business opportunities. Friends do not spread lies to fuel selfish narratives. Friends do not use the private information they get from the privilege of being close friends just to use it to manipulate others. If stepping on your other friends and abusing your power and connections is how you get to the top, then I hope you realize no one will be left when you get there. More screens of them urging Nanolis to cancel the ongoing live TV commission with me, even mentioning how excited I was about it and showed them the design during Cinder and I's concert at WeebCon 2024. Yeah, so this is all screenshots from the first document too, yeah. I wouldn't offer it for free, maybe half price if she starts shit, lol. I don't know what I have ever done to either Red or Cinder to deserve this level of vitriol towards me. I don't remember having any issue or any problem that could have been solved by talking. Regarding the messages where Cinder and Red openly accused me of stealing their YouTube editor, Boss Rush, music video animator, as well as any artist that they have worked with. And then it says, "Hi, Cancer, nice to meet you. I was just watching your stream highlight of me and Cinder's collab, and I really loved your editing and humor. I was curious if you could request a video edit from you every now and then and have, if you have any availability. My username is Bao on Discord if you want to chit-chat more about it. Thanks. I'd love to edit videos for you. Just send a friend request on Discord." She hijacked our YouTube editor. The YouTube editor, Kaiser, is a mutual YouTube channel editor for myself and Cinder, my channel manager, June, and I asked Kaiser for one stream highlight per month, as we are aware his extensive position as a Cinder's channel manager. I made a point to note that this in my inquiry email to him in 2023. On March 20th, I started a group Discord call that lasted 5 hours to hang out with my editors. In this group call, Kaiser shared with us that he was afraid to ask Cinder for a raise because he initially turned down an exclusivity deal. As a friend of both Cinder and Kaiser, I encouraged him to take the deal and reassured him that it would not change our friendship, as I would never want someone to care about to miss an opportunity, even if it meant I would lose him as an editor. The other editors who were in the call can corroborate this. I'm sharing this context because there are no words to describe the hurt and betrayal I feel by knowing that on one side of the conversation, Cinder and Redacted were actively portraying me as a thief and a detriment to their business. I've only ever supported them and their activities and never once thought that I had somehow gotten on their nerves. Bao had originally songs last year that had MVs by her editor, and the songs flopped, which we read this. All the screenshots I'm just going to be skipping over in this document because we already read these in the previous document. I wonder what those shoes smell like when you take them off. On odor most foul, pungent. Oh my god. Sharing about songs is especially hurtful because she entered the content creation space as a singer. Yeah, it's really yucky. I've been shocked into disbelief that this is the narrative they decided that I deserved. Saying that I harbored an invisible jealousy because of my songs flopped made me feel sick to my stomach. In late 2024, I was dealing with a debilitating TMJ pain and resulted in me having to drain fluid from my jaw joint to open my mouth properly. They both knew this. I've always wanted my friends to succeed alongside me, and I don't know how they could say these things while simultaneously weaponizing my most vulnerable moments against me. We're 99% sure she told him, Scaremore, not to do any more with us Boss Rush music videos. In these messages with Cinder and Redacted, I referred to my animator, Sycamore, whom I've been working with since 2023. And then there's the DMs between the two of them. Proof of how long we've worked together. In 2024, Sack asked me if he could go completely exclusive for me and work for me in-house with no credit in order for him to be able to quietly work on his personal projects and brand without having VTubers ask him for more commission work. I was happy to accept. I want to reiterate, this was Sack's decision and no one else's. Here's proof that Sack mentioning he wished to be my in-house animator directly for my channel manager June Bapus back in December of 2024, refuting Redacted's claim that I, quote, locked him up due to Boss Rush's success. Yo, it's fine. Is it fine if going forward I don't be credited in video descriptions? Okay, thank you. I'd rather just be more of an in-house type of thing for Bao after the blank thing is done. It's the last commission I ever do for anyone else besides Bao, and I want to make my name for myself through my own content, not really my work for others next year. Okay. Why aren't you solving this privately? If you look at the timeline of events from Nano's document, some of those messages date back years. I found out about this less than 48 hours ago. They did not give me common courtesy of talking to me privately about this over those years. My thoughts, feelings, and most vulnerable, darkest moments that I shared in confidence with people I thought would be on my side for years and years from now may have been used as information to ruin my chances to have the same VTuber models as someone I thought was my friend, and I don't know how I can ever be the same after this. I would like to ask the community to refrain from spreading any harmful speculation. Everything shared in this document was done so with the express permission of those shared with me. I make this document with intent to refute the claims made about me in the screenshots. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Yeah, I wouldn't, if I was her, I wouldn't be going to Cinder either in this situation. Very clearly, there's a maliciousness here, and it's not relevant to even address it with them anymore. There's enough evidence to throw the book at them. I didn't get much about Bao other than clips of her occasional stream, but this seems rough for her. Bao is the most punished VTuber in the history of VTubing. It is incredible, the amount. Now, sometimes, you know, I think sometimes every once in a while she has made an error when it comes to how she handles PR, but that's irrelevant versus the mountainous number of awful things that has happened to Bao. Like, she has had money stolen from her. She has had merch, like multiple. She had money stolen her for animations. She had money stolen from her for merch that was never delivered by a company. She has been fucked over countless times by various different people in the community. Like, she's been canceled by weirdos who freak out about her having an inflation fetish, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with having an inflation fetish. Like, there's so many ways and things that she has been shit on, and she doesn't deserve it at all. If I was always getting the short end of the stick, yeah. It's a cloud that will hang over every relationship a person will have for their lives. Yeah. Forgot about the merch stuff. Oh, yeah. Don't forget about the merch stuff. Like, Bao has been fucked. And it is shocking to me that she is still able to keep going. That she still has the drive and the willpower to keep going after that is shocking. And I'm happy for her that she does. Because I think, like, the most people who are hit by as many things as Bao has been hit by over the years would give up. They would throw in the towel. And we're on doc 2 of 4. Yeah, this is document 2. We still have 2 more, too. So that was document 2. Now, this is SAC. This next document is from SAC. Feel free to read if you want. Go show love and support to both Nano and Bao both. Let's see. So this is from SAC, and who is a... I believe they are this is the edit. This is the video editor, Bao's editor. This is Bao's animator, I believe. Yeah, the animator. This is Bao's animator that is making this document here. This is going to be very unorganized, but I'll try and keep it brief since I don't really think that they Red specifically deserve any more of my attention after hearing what they have said about me, and also how working with them was. Oh boy. First off, to address this, so this specific message here. Also, thank you for the... Oh, yeah.
Be like Vito. Don't let people know you're into a thing.
Yeah, laying eggs. I know, exactly. Yeah, so this is the DM. We already saw this as well. I asked Bao to go anonymous and in-house because I had been wanting to focus on my own projects for 2025 since I had spent pretty much all of 2023-24 doing videos for others, and I was having a lot of companies reach out asking me to work for them, and I am not good at saying no to work opportunities. Since in general, being just an editor is not a long-term sustaining thing in most scenarios, hence why a large majority either turn to becoming managers or their own content creators with their own platforms. Citation needed on that one. So I just wanted to be left alone this year to work. It sounds like this person just wants that more than that's like I don't X to doubt. I mean, listen, it's their personal preference. I don't like them describing that as a definitive, right? Like I believe that is definitely what they wanted to do, right? So I just wanted to be left alone this year to work on other things than just editing for other people, which is why I want to be separated from my commission work since I do not like the idea of being labeled an editor. And then, yeah, there's the other message from the previous document. When me and Cinder initially discussed working on a music video project at TwitchCon, everything was fine and friendly. However, the part that is stated as particularly jumped through hoops is, well, a bit of an overstatement to say the least, since they had asked me a significant amount of times trying to get me to work with them after I told them multiple times, and I only said yes because they offered double the pay. Okay, and here's a DM between the two of them right here. Yeah, as an editor, you can 100% make editing a livable career. Yeah, I think that's a little... It sounds like Zach just very much wants to be a content creator, and they're justifying to themselves in their head like specific corner cases of people going from editor to content creator, which I knew some of those people who were like that, right? You know, Ooh is an example of that, right? Ooh was an editor who edited for a bunch of VTubers, and then he decided that he wanted to start doing stuff, and he had ideas for what to do, and now he's an extremely successful content creator who's doing incredible content, right? But that happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm not saying, but also it's a little silly to say that editing is not a career. You wouldn't happen to be available for a MV in a week or two, would you? Oh, I'm completely full every day this month, and the earliest I could do is November 9th. Just checking, thank you. No problem, I'm 100% down after that date, though. Sorry to bother you, but I'll know the exact release date, since I could try working something out to fit in if y'all want, by the 22nd-ish. Okay, it's all right, I'll let you know, 2 to 3 days a month is dummy busy. And then, hey, Red, thanks for waiting. So I've been trying to figure out if there was any feasible way I could slide Cinder into my schedule this month, but between moving into my new apartment this week and the new Halloween album, 7 MVs, I think November 9th is the very earliest I can start. I'm very sorry, but if there is any projects after the date y'all would like, I can do, I'll lock it in calendar 100%. Again, it's very sorry for the inconvenience. How long does it usually take for you to edit an MV? And then I gotta look at the other screen to read this one. Yeah, I was an editor. Yeah. Top towns are actively sabotaging each other for them. Yeah. It depends on complexity and length. So optimally would be a little over a 2-ish week gig. How would you feel about me giving you everything for the MV now, work on it in between your other projects, and have it to me by the end of October? I really would love to be able to squeeze y'all in. Absolutely, I would if I could, but generally I don't have any days free until November 9th at the earliest this month, and started of November is literally just ass at being for my schedule. Okay, thanks to Zach. You're missing out on a good one. This is so... What a fucking weirdo. What a weirdo. They're telling you very definitively, I can't do it except at this date. I can't do it except for this date. And you're like, could you just please squeeze it in? They're like, no, I can't do it for this date. All right, well, you're really missing out. Oh, go fuck yourself, you freak. What the fuck? As an editor, I hate that question. How long will edit take? IDK lady, that's like asking how long a piece of string can be. I need more parameters than that. Yeah. Oh god. Okay, this is they're all ooh. Image editing is a little on this, but that's fine. I'll try to read them in order. When was it you were free again? Things have been pushing back a lot, lol. November 9th is my last MV for Bow until like first week of December. I think when Cinder coming out now, when it's ready, lol. I'm a FAO. To be honest, I'll probably start on it a day or two after I wrap up the Bow MV in that case. Let's see. The song is a lot of typography. Is that something you're good with? Can I hear it? If not, no worries. Just so I can get the idea. Is it English or JP? English. Lots of animated text with different fonts, but yeah, that's fine. Is just one still image still using the artwork? No, I can send you the more details though in a week or two. What is fucking, bro? Okay, that's so crazy that Red was trying to say, oh, it's been like jumping through hoops. You're the one doing the hoop jumping. What are you talking? You're not giving enough detail here. Like what? You're the one being annoying in these DMs. They're being very definitive and asking very exact questions, and you're being dodgy and weird. Yeah, that should be good. Send me up when you get more info. I'm super down. Are you available? Sorry for getting back to you so late. All good. Am I still 100%? Dude, you're okay. You're already fucking 3 days late. All right. I'm still 100% down to do it. I'll be able to start like the first or second week of December for like the mid-December release. Is that okay? Wait. Okay. Okay, I got criticism on both sides of this one, baby. So you said, I know it's 3 days late, but you said November 9th. And then they come to you, and then suddenly now it's December? All right, man, like, okay, all right, buddy, like, Jesus, fucking, okay. Like, they're being annoying, but now you're being kind of annoying, too. Like I said, I'm still super down to do it and really hope to be available for work with Cinder on the video, but my schedule is always super packed, fully planned, weeks and months. I mean, maybe they already scheduled something for the on the 9th because they were late. It's possible. Fully planned, weeks and months ahead without much wiggle room. So I'm okay what y'all would do or are feeling. And said that December is when you had to the next Vow video. Yeah. What if I pay you double? Can you send the invoice to blank whenever we'll get it paid ASAP? Also, I'm not sure what they're on about with Bao not knowing about me working with them, since I asked Bao with Cinder and Red standing right next to me at TwitchCon if it was fine, since I had agreed to do the Halloween album, but I would probably miss one of the songs, and she had no problem with it. Let's see. Come boy and gifts. I hope the girlies like it. How are they this booked up and not making a living off adding, by the way? Sounds like every day they're booked. Yeah, if they're booked this much, then maybe they're not charging enough? Like, how would you not be... once again, I think that it's not a matter of not being able to make a living. I think it's a matter of they want to be a content creator, and they're just trying to do mental gymnastics to justify things, you know? So it sounds like they already filled the time. They're probably the next available time. Yeah, that's probably what's happening here. And in that case, it's the incompetence of Red for not messaging them on time or locking in the date that they had in the DMs. That's fucking bad managerial shit right there. Also, the stream was pushed back for the reason of the video wasn't done yet. Song was going up at 2 p.m. if I remember. However, this part really got under my skin due to the fact that it was just straight up not true. And if something goes wrong in the video production line, no matter who's at fault, the blame will fall on the editor, animator pretty much every time. I'm still not sure why stream was pushed back, so it felt as if I was getting passive-aggressively blamed publicly on stream in front of thousands for the lateness really upset me, since the video was not late even under a very tight deadline where I did not even receive all the artwork until the 18th. Okay, so the Red is completely incompetent. Okay. The first full master until the 19th, and was then asked to also make the teaser version as well as an ad for the end of the video for their merch on the 21st, which I was not informed of at all prior to planning. I also had skipped going home for Thanksgiving after having family members pass to get this video done and rushed the hell out of it. Entire video was done from scratch in a little under 2 weeks, since there were quite a few both visual and audio assets that it did not have at that time, and even remotely resembled what the final project would sound like. So I feel this was an attack on my work ethic, which is something I take quite a lot of pride in. I did not receive the merch assets until the 27th as well either. What the fuck? Yeah, what? Okay, even without revisions at all, the extra trailers, the video was completed and delivered on time with enough time for YouTube to process the 4K version. There's probably more that I should clarify, since I'm aware this is unbelievably poorly organized, but I'm very tired, so I don't feel like giving any more energy to these people. If there's anybody who has questions, or just send me a DM. Okay, so this is the weakest of the documents so far, but I mean, all we need out of this is that we clearly see that Red is an incompetent manager who is also very pushy, and they actively lie about people. That's what we're seeing within this. And then this is the last one. This one also might be a little petty. We're gonna take a look at this, but this is Rayne, and fucking my experience with Tashi Cinder cheating. So this might be kind of irrelevant. This might just be relationship stuff, which we will drop this document if it just ends up being they cheated on me, well, because that's not relevant. That's not relevant to what's actually happening. Like, people in their private lives doing shitty things is not relevant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, it's irrelevant to content creation. It is just this is personal life beef, and it's just showing that she's a shitty person, which we already know at this point. Thank you for taking the time to read this document. The events described it happened about 4 or 5 years ago, before the first Cinder debut. I understand this will be doubtless be accusations of me clout chasing by revealing them. However, I wanted to corroborate Nanolist's assertion that she is not who she appears to be on the surface, and confirm that no matter how much damage control she does, she is just as responsible as Red. Are there condones cheating? I don't condone cheating at all, but but someone being a cheater and a weirdo is not relevant to the business accusations and that are going on. Basically, it's like throwing something on top that is completely irrelevant to the conversation, is the point. It's not something to cover on stream. It's not something that I cover. It's not like, basically, I want to see what is in here, but I'm saying I don't cover people's personal drama. I don't cover people like having relationship issues. I don't cover public spats about people breaking up. I think that is extremely immature to bring into public, and in the content creation space. And I think that you are. I think all parties involved are extremely immature to make that chat's problem, to make that the viewer's problem. It's not anyone's problem. It's something that's happening in your personal life that's nothing to do with streaming. Cinder I met while she was still running her Tashi MP3 YouTube channel, which is why the following screenshots will show her as Tashi rather than Cinder, and that will come up later. At the time, she was only just starting to be her account, and I already had her own ASMR RP channel with 8K subscribers. As a bigger channel, she couldn't work with someone as talented as me. We never ended up actually making any content together, but that did not stop us from talking pretty much every day at the time, and eventually she found a new way to make me useful. Pretty much immediately, she was flirting with me despite, as you can see here, having a boyfriend and both of us knowing she had a boyfriend, including a regularly... Okay, yep, this is just cheating. I don't care. Yep, I don't care. 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 This is not relevant to the conversation. Don't bring this into public. The audience doesn't care. It's dragging personal life, background stuff up. This is not relevant to anything. It's really not. It's really not relevant. I'm not condoning it. I think she's a shitty person if she's a cheater. Absolutely. She's a bad fucking person. But is this relevant during this conversation about Cinder and her business ties issues? No, not even a little bit. Okay, so this is Spite. This is the person who they were claiming stole a shit ton of that Cinder's claim was stealing her ideas and design. So this is gonna be the an update to the story from earlier in the stream, and let's see what her opinion is on this. And it looks like, yep, still the same DMs that are included, so we can skip over a lot of the DMs as we read it. But this is what they have to say about it. Okay, I want to start by saying do not send anyone involved in this. I only wish to speak about my experiences and give more clarity to those experiences. First and foremost, my love and admiration goes out to Nano for having the courage to bring us to light. Artists are the backbone of our community, and taking advantage of her good-willed personality is saddening to see. I want to take this time to address what has been brought to light involving myself and what I've experienced over the years that coincided with these events. In the screenshots, the VTuber is being talked about is very clearly me. Since the beginning of my VTuber journey, has been written into my backstory and lore that I'm the daughter of Cerberus, and though an unforeseen summoning mishap, my Greek goddess of Arcady, and many may know Cerberus is a species of hellhound, and I've always incorporated the number 3 in my design to follow the 3 heads of Cerberus. In my early design, when artists were all learning new model rigging techniques, I had opted for the 2 other wolf heads on my shoulders as pauldrons of symbolically represent my other 2 heads. However, the repeated comments of "if you're a Cerberus, where are your other 2 heads?" had pushed me to use the broader term of hellhound at the time. Fast forward to months to a year into my journey, and I started to receive harassment and berating comments and chat messages on Twitch and YouTube videos comparing me to Cinder and putting me down for being a hellhound. Making the definitive switch to Cerberus label brought me a sense of relief, because the last thing I wanted to do was be constantly compared to or harassed at that point. I didn't want to be associated with her due to all the negativity that was being thrown my way. As for the claims of unfollowing her and taking her ideas, I debuted my 2.0 model on May the 14th, 2022, and on the same day, she decided to post her debut announcement for her 1.0 Live 2D model. Leading up to this time, I didn't know who Cinder was at all. I had no idea she had fire in her ears, or she was another hellhound. The creator space is broad, and I still stumble across creators larger than myself and I have not heard of before. I never once stole her ideas. All I ever wanted to do was try to be unique in my own way, so she claims that I was following her and then unfollowed and stealing her ideas are absolutely baseless and uncalled for. Okay, so she's claiming that she never followed Cinder at all. Like, she wasn't following her at all, and that Cinder only posted this because she saw this and was being weird. Her posting her debut announcement trailer on the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off, but I shrugged it off as a coincidence because things happen. However, this wasn't the last time something like this has happened. There have been multiple times where I have done something, and either the same day or shortly after, I was made aware or had discovered later that something similar had been posted, making me feel like I was being watched constantly. So wait, it was projection? She was not the one copying her, it was the other way around? I tried my best to believe that it was coincidental and not ill intent on their part. There were many times where I designed a new outfit and I was really excited for, but afterwards, Cinder would release outfits or models with similarities to it. I don't think much of it at first because this is normal to have some similarities or shared inspirations with other creators. The VTubing community is a huge space and similarities are normal. I'm not speaking to whether my design was taken as a direct reference from hers. I'm addressing the need for the unprovoked tweets mentioned in the screenshots above and showing that I made the statement to make it clear that it was not stealing ideas. How can I copy something that was released or a tease revealed after my own? On July the 20th, 2022, my review, my model mama, and I worked on a comfy goth girl outfit. I had rips on my t-shirt, G-strings, and shorts, and a spiked wrist cuffs. 2 weeks after, Cinder debuted a similar outfit, including the earrings image I could find on Cinder with the outfit. I received many negative comments about my design from people assuming that I copied her when I debuted it 2 weeks before hers. I got called off-brand Cinder and just a bunch of horrible things. Yeah, people are really weird like that. People are really weird like that. That is pretty common weird shit for big VTuber fans to compare people between each other. It's mostly pretty generic, but it's kind of similar. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar, but not really. Yeah. I discovered the merchandise that she used for Ooh Market and had to do a double take because of the gray-blue skin tone used on the art. Several people thought was me and similarities for the speakers themselves, I feel. On April... Wait, that's Cinder art? What the fuck? On April the 24th, April the 29th, 2024, I designed a Greek goddess outfit on stream. I'm a Cerberus VTuber, so it fits my lore completely. I mentioned that I may or may not get a future Greek goddess outfit because it fits my branding. About 4 months ago, Cinder debuted a Heaven Okami-inspired outfit that was a white and gold resembling a Greek goddess. In the background for the debut, she also included Greek columns. At this point, I feel like nothing I could come up with had even been slightly original to me. I'm aware that nothing is completely original, but I still wanted my own ideas. I mean... yeah, it's kind of similar. On April the 20th, 2024, I debuted a new model from my model mama, Ahari VT. I got a hoodie with a cute design on top of it and a side bangs covering my eyes. On April 4th, 2025, Cinder debuted a sports hoodie with side bangs covering the eyes similar to mine. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the... I mean, if I would say some of this is schizo posting, if there weren't so many instances of it, of distinct similarities, right? It's the timing and how many times it happens, really. Yeah, if it was one or two of these, I'd call her crazy, but like, yeah, this is... must be nothing but a pattern is what makes it suspicious. Yeah, exactly. There are some instances that I do not have screenshots for. For example, I remember posting about my first ASMR stream, the day that I was supposed to do said stream. Cinder plugged her ASMR channel. I thought it was a bit suspect, but I brushed it off. I don't have screenshots of the other comments and bullying that I received from her community. There were too many that it became too much to keep track of. I believe it's true. I believe it happened. I just started ignoring them because I never wanted to save images of their words that hurt me. I don't even want to read harassing comments in the first place. I just wanted to be left alone and be happy in my own space. Yeah, Tice sequences 10 times is fucking targeted. Yeah. I received a DM on January 25th, 2023. I did not disclose who the sender was without their consent. The sender expressed to me that they were getting bullied by Cinder and certain members of Cinder's community because she too had fire in her ears. I never responded to the DM because I wanted to stay away from the drama as much as possible. You should have done a better job at censoring that icon up there. I'll be real. This is very lazy censorship. You could potentially figure out who this was because you didn't fill in the blue circle fully. Let's see. Hey, you popped in my feed and I can say I love your design. I had a rather odd question, I suppose. Have you had any messages from the VTuber Cinder regarding your design? This may seem out of nowhere, but I'm only asking because I had made an OC about like a while back and was accused by her and others of stealing her design because my dog girl had flames in the ears, and her fans claimed that I was exclusive to her design. It was the whole big ordeal on Twitter, so I wondered if it was anything similar that happened to you. I would like to clarify that I myself am not saying... your design looks like hers. I was scrolling, saw your totally awesome design. When I saw the flames near the ears, I had flashbacks and thought to myself, oh no, so I guess this is just me Krause getting the best of me. So it's other people have had this experience too, basically. I'm just very sad and disappointed in this situation. I had my suspicions about this, but I've never wanted to be a part of the drama, so I kept quiet. I've also seen what happens when a creator stands up for themselves and receives major backlash, even if they are in the right, so I've never vocalized my concerns. That's the reason a lot of people don't talk about this unless that's why you're seeing a lot of people talk about it now, because there's momentum and because they won't be harassed, or at least harassed as much. If you start something and it doesn't gain momentum, a community will just harass the shit out of you. Never blow a pixel, never scratch it out. Yeah. I've always designed my own models. I've gotten inspiration from Cerberus with my Chains and Spikes, Disney's Hades, and because I call myself a goth GF, I was inspired by Sam and Ember from Danny Phantom, plus many other goth crushes that I've had growing up. I just focused myself and my friends. Meanwhile, I had eyes on me the whole time. Knowing that I was being watched and talked poorly about really hurts, especially when they never attempted to interact with me. Which is, yeah, the very bizarre behavior. I did my best to go through and find what I could and get appropriate screenshots. It's crazy because I didn't know who Cinder was until she debuted her live today. I just wanted to exist peacefully as a VTuber and spend my time drama-free. I woke up this morning in shock. It's terrifying and hurtful to know that someone could attempt to blacklist me when I've never spoken to them. I hope going forward that no one else has to experience anything like this. Thank you guys for being supportive towards me. I love the community so much. Please go and give love and support to all those who have unfortunately been involved in this situation. Please support Nano who was brave enough to speak up, and the VTubers who were affected. Please support my first model mama and wonderful Mauville, and also my most recent model mama, the wholesome RAVT. Thank you for taking the time to read this. That's that. And I'm very interested to see how Cinder is going to try to respond to this. I'm very interested to see how they're going to try to respond to this. I don't think it's going to be very good. I think it's going to be a very bad response, and they are probably going to... I mean, honestly, the best response you could possibly do would be coming out with all of it, being truthful and being like, yes, Red's my boyfriend. No, we're not breaking up. Yes, I did have these opinions, and I was being shitty to people. That's the only way I think you could save any face if she was just front forward with it. If she tries to make any excuses, she's dead. She's dead. She's fucking dead. She's dead in the water. So this is the statement from Silvertale about their interactions, because apparently they were in fact one of the people that Red and Cinder were trying to get their models canceled, and they did. Let's see. Introduction. I shouldn't have to say this, but me putting out this statement is not call for an excuse for anyone to turn this situation into a witch hunt. My intention was for making it, and I agree with this. This has been a statement that's been in all these documents, and I agree with it. I do not think that Cinder or Red should be harassed, doxxed, swatted, followed around, and anyone should send any harassing comments to them. I don't think anyone should talk about them at all. I think because this is my view, always been my view on shitty people on the internet. The best way that you can kill a creator online is to not give them attention. The best way to deal with this is to talk about their hypocrisy and their shittiness and then move on and never interact with them ever again. Just they need to just have a giant negative sign in their follow count and their average drop off a cliff. That's how you kill someone online. If as soon as someone doesn't have any traction or any way to grow or any way to do anything else with their career, then eventually they're going to just peter out, fizzle into nothing, and disappear and not do anything anymore. They'll either quit from lack of growth or otherwise. Harassment is never, ever the answer in these situations, no matter how shitty what they did was. The only times where I think it's in any way necessary, and I don't even think it's necessary for harassment, you just need to call the fucking police if someone does a crime, a real legitimate crime, or is in any way like a threat to people, right? If someone is a physical danger to other people, whether it be adults or children, or if they are are doing something that is extremely illegal. Those are the only cases where police and authorities should be involved. I don't think that the mob needs to get involved at all. I put on my doxing shoes already, though. My intention for making a statement is strictly to give myself closure for events in the past year and clarify that I have been personally affected. I debated if I wanted to even say anything after being asked if I wanted my name in the original document censored, as the situation is much bigger than just my personal experience. However, after finding out how wide and extensive the transgressions were, I feel the need to give clarity to my situation and how I was personally affected. So she asked to be censored out of the original document because she didn't want to initially get involved, but at this point, she's realized it was so much bigger than the initial document even said, so she feels that she needs to say something. I want to note, as others have, that though a majority of the messages are from Redacted, Cinder's manager, I find it impossible that he acted solely on his own intentions without Cinder's knowledge or consent, given the extent which he had represented her publicly and professionally. And we've already talked about the number of reasons why it is pretty definitive that she cannot try to throw her manager under the bus and escape this. That would be ridiculous to try. And plus, a lot of people figure it out. I think, I mean, a lot of this is pretty obvious. You could figure it out very, very simply based on how the messages are in the timelines. But let's see, Nano and VTuber 1. I mean, like, if you wanted to have some kind of model exclusivity, why would you need to make that sustainable for you? Okay, so this is the DM we read yesterday, where they basically say, hey, we want to be exclusive with you, and don't ever work with any of these people again. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, there's the actual DM. I think the main thing we look for are you not to take on any brand new model clients and not to make any new models outfits with Silvertale again. You'd still be able to work with model outfits with all the other existing babies, and your artwork comms wouldn't be affected. That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
That is wild to ask that. Yeah, they're basically, we want you to not work with these people ever again, and we're not going to pay you an exclusivity fee, but anytime they ask for a commission, we'll commission you, which is ridiculous. That's an absurd request in the first place. Yeah, Silver still asks for art now and again, and there's one person that's being blanked out here. I'm not sure who that is, but one person is still being censored in the document at the moment. But we've seen all of these DMs already. In the previous document. I'm VTuber number 1 on the screenshots provided by Nano in her document. I've been a friend and client of Nano for years, and seeing how she was manipulated and abused by Cinder and Red makes me livid. She's an absolute sweetheart and just wants her clients to be happy. It breaks my heart to see how she was treated. Hold on, my face is all cocked to the right for some reason. There we go, okay. Breaks my heart to see how she was treated like a tool and a resource to be used for growth rather than talented living person, and gaslit into somehow believing that how she was being treated was okay. I am so proud of Nana for having the courage to come forward to the affected people with all this and to let everyone know how they are being unknowingly sabotaged. Okay, so it does sound like she did apologize, which is good. I've spoken to her privately and wanted to be clear that I have no ill will or hard feelings towards Nano for her involvement in this. I urge people reading this to try and understand the emotional manipulation on display and empathize with her situation. There's a lot I could say about how disgusting I find their behavior towards other creators in general, but I want to focus on my personal experiences. Cinder and I. Discovering that all of this was going on behind the scenes has been a gut wrenching. I didn't know Cinder, we weren't friends, and we have barely talked. Even writing this, I do not understand what I could have possibly done to warrant the level of malice and cruelty shown. In our private interactions, I was as cordial as possible, but I just wasn't interested in associating with her professionally or being her friend. Which is fine. Which is perfectly fine, right? That's not a big deal. People can decide that they just want to interact or be friends with other people. It's not a big deal. From the few uncomfortable, but to explain though here, like she's doing this because she sees all other VTubers as competition for her, because she thinks that she needs to sabotage other people to get ahead in streaming, which is nuts. From the few uncomfortable interactions I did have with her, I had gotten the vibe that her primary goal was to climb the social and content ladder and grow her brand. I'm fully aware how common that attitude is, and that is just how you grow in this sphere, but I personally don't have the emotional fortitude or bandwidth to have friendships for the express purpose of growth. For the record, I think it's fine to have that view and approach content creation, but I also reserve the right to simply not vibe with someone. I would much rather not associate with someone at all than pretend to be their friend for the purposes of growing my brand. All right. The only time I had actually talked to her directly was during my meet and greet at TwitchCon 2023. I just finished my meet and greet. As I was wrapping up, she walked directly to the screen to meet me and had someone else take a picture of us together. I was not informed of this picture or asked permission for it and only knew about it once I saw it on Twitter later on. Stopped to say hi after my meet Wolf Girls. Oh, God. Yeah, that's... Now, something that should be noted about this picture that is something I didn't know initially, but I learned. Cinder is, prior to being a VTuber, was from the competitive cosplay scene, which explains a lot about her behavior. There is a lot of this kind of behavior in competitive cosplay, unfortunately. There are a lot of great people in competitive cosplay. There's a lot of very nice people. I watched some content creators who are in that sphere who are extremely kind, but there is a lot of toxicity in this field. I have heard a lot of stories of people being absolutely horrific to each other. And so that's where the mindset comes from, is that growing up in that toxic environment. That explains a fuck ton, yeah. Also, Cinder really loved meeting you and wanted to collab, so I told her and let you know, and I could throw you guys in a group chat if you were interested. So this is some other person talking to Silvertale. Hello, I appreciate the sentiment, but I prefer not to do collabs. No worries, hope you're having a good weekend. Thanks, I'm trying to just busy a lot of IRL stuff coming up. Sorry for not being interested in collabs, I just like to do my own thing, but I've always opened a message, lol. Hope you had fun at the con and everything went okay. Yeah, I will say, that is really weird. That is really weird to just, like, suggest a collab to someone that you don't know. Like, I have never asked anyone for a collab that I didn't try to get to know for an extended period of time first. Like, it's been a very, there's some very nice people. There are also people who will spread horrific, disgusting rumors the second they feel mildly slighted. Yeah. They better hurry up and drop a response so Arthur doesn't need to cover this for a third date. I don't know if Cinder will ever drop a response to this, honestly. It's real bad. After the meet and greet, she contacted my manager at Mythic to ask me to collab with her. Oh, that's the manager. Okay, this is her manager here saying that. Oh, interesting. Okay. After the meet, let's see. With her, I told them I would rather not do collabs, but accepted her friend request on Discord. After turning her down in private DMs, she reached out and asked me to do merch or another merch collab? Bro, come on. That's a lot for someone you don't know. That's a lot. Or another various form of collabs to be monetized, to which I again declined. I will always prioritize my mental health and peace over any potential profit that would make me feel used transactionally and put me out of my comfort zone. Because, yeah, that absolutely is trying to tie brands together. What she's doing here is trying to try her brand to Silvertale, a very large and popular creator, to get a leg up and to say, look, we have merged together. We're friends, right? Oh, viewers of Silvertale, don't you want to come hang out with me and watch my streams? That's what she was doing. It was very much transactional. Yeah. It's not like, because, like, example, right? Hold on. Where's my other... Like, do you know where these came from, chat? These came because we were good friends for multiple years. But this is the point, right? Like, this is natural merch. This merch was built off of an existing relationship between two creators who know each other and are close and are good friends, right? This is not that. This is just blatant pandering to try to get... It's not even the money, right? It's not even about the money of the merch. It's about the recognition. Okay, so let's read this message. Hi, Silver. Sorry for getting back to you late. I've been super sick from TwitchCon. I guess a lot of us got sick after the last couple of parties. Hope you had a good time with your meet and greet. It was nice to see you there. But yeah, no worries. If you don't prefer to stream together, my manager suggested something more like sponsorships, merch, music, or some kind... What the fuck? Bro, if someone won't even be on stream with you, doesn't mean they're not going to do music with you or sponsorship. What are you talking about? This is psychotic. Some kind of other product together that maybe Mythic could help with if needed. I'd love to chat more either way. No worries. It's been super hectic, busy for everyone. Lol, hope they're feeling better. I'm really flattered by the persistence, but I'm just not interested in transactional relationships with anyone. You can understand. Oh no! I see why she hated her specifically. I see why she specifically was targeted, because she says it outright right there that she's not interested in transactional relationships. And Cinder took that personally.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. The psycho wheels immediately flew off the train as soon as that was said. Oh, man. Call out specifically for being transactional. Yeah, and she probably went nuts over that. Let's see. And then, so this team, like, at the end of the day, it isn't about how much we make compared to her. We just want her to recognize, hey, Cinder, so big VTuber 2, she got there on her own merits, just like you did, get along. And the marketing potential and money they could make if they teamed up, these are probably DMs between Redacted and someone else. I just know if anything we do, she's watching and will take from or try to outdo. Oh my God! You know the spinning figure that we have on stream. Silver's figure was announced on Wednesday. No spinning figure. Cinder's debut Saturday. Everyone hears about it. Figure announced. Spinning figure on screen with figure right next to it. Silver stream yesterday. First stream since Cinder's debut. Guess what? Spinning figure with figure next to it. I think it's more like wanting to correct. So now this is when the narrative started up, where they started to be like, she's stealing from us. She's stealing all our ideas. Yeah, it's war then. I think it's more like wanting her to recognize Cinder, even though it literally doesn't matter. I feel like there's an unspoken competition between them. Like, they need to one-up each other because Silver can't get along. But I also understand her point of view. A new YouTuber who people say looks, sounds, and acts like you become successful as you in a year. If she didn't recognize Cinder as equal or a friend, then it would be like she's endorsing her copy. Like I've seen some people say her replacement. They share a lot of their audience, too. No. His name is literally redacted. Yeah. Ah, yes, weird psycho behavior. Yeah. I had a new Live 2D model in the works for my birthday with Nano, which was eventually canceled. I was devastated as Nano was the one who originally asked if she could do this model because she was excited to make it with all the new things she had learned. And my birthday was special. At the time, the reason given was health and stress reasons, which made sense given how much was on Nano's plate. And despite my disappointment expressed of my support for prioritizing her health. I am now aware that the actual reason for her declining to work with me on my birthday model was external pressures from Redacted and Cinder. Words cannot describe how heartbroken I was and am. And then here's the DMs. Silver had to cancel the model comms. So I'm sorry, my manager told me I have to cancel the most comms possible for health reasons. I've been working too hard and it's getting to me. I'm really apologizing for the inconvenience. I was looking forward to it so much. I love your art so much, and I've been so excited for the new model from you. Understand, though, you have to prioritize your health and taking care of yourself. I hope your health improves and you feel better. Make sure to get lots of rest and relaxation. Do you know if you would be able to do it next year at all? Don't feel pressured or anything, just asking. I'm sorry it hurts me a lot, too. I just wish I could work on everything I could, but I believe I can still go for your model sometime next year, yeah. That's okay. I know you have a ton on your plate and can't imagine how stressful it must be. Do you think you still can do the Gamer Subs tub art? Oh, yeah, the illustrations are okay. Gotta point out, yeah. Yeah, and then there's these the deranged messages where they're like, I didn't think that our messages were you trying to convince you not to work with it, even though they literally said that like definitively in these DMs. I hope Silver finds someone else. Yeah, see right there. I didn't think much of it at the time. Oh, this one. Oh yeah. So this is the big one. This is the big reveal. I didn't think much of it at the time, but Cinder messaged me on Discord right before my model was canceled. She celebrated that we shared art despite the fact at the same time she and Redacted were actively working to take potentially more away from me. So yeah, actual psychotic moment of you are DMing someone being like, haha, it's so cool, haha, when you are literally actively trying to make sure they cannot get a model from this artist. That's just fucking icky, yeah. Hey, Cinder just got your Gamer Sub stuff in the mail and looks amazing. It's so cute that we both have Nano art on our merch since she's both our model mama. Wow. Fucking wow. And then moving forward, this is the end of it. Cinder and Redacted have spent years sabotaging me for no understandable reason. I have never done anything to warrant this other than just existing as Silvertale. They actively sought to get my models and art canceled, and based on the messages I have seen, I mean, it's not for nothing. It's because you wouldn't give them what they wanted. That's why. I've seen the shared above seem to have not any second thought about doing so. It's hard to express how crushing a feeling it is to be talked about so cruelly and maliciously without knowing, and to know opportunities and friendships were taken away for what I can only assume is spite and insecurity. There's no end to the amount of anxiety I feel knowing that these rumors were expressed to Nano. I have to assume that they were expressed to others as well. I hope the document and the evidence presented will convince you that I am not the person that Cinder and Redacted tried to convince people I am. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I can hope that any and all of people who have been affected by this can get the closure and peace they deserve. That's bad. That's real. Yeah, pissing on someone's corpse before it's even cold. Goddamn. Yeah, it wasn't even stab. Like basically, you're just giving someone a hug and then like positioning the knife directly into their back so it can stab into their heart. Teasing is cool. Yeah. So that's the Silvertale update. That's the big update. This in particular is the grossest part of this. It's the most tortious interference-y part. But there's more. There's more. There's one more piece of information regarding this. Is Giga came out and said, I just realized why an art project of mine was suddenly canceled. They were doing it to everyone. Anyone and everyone. They were fucking over actively. That was the one. Yeah. And there's more people, obviously. I will not cover everything because they've asked for their stories to not be covered, but you can go look up yourself and see what other people are saying about their experiences. Explains the Giga video. Yeah. It's fucked, man. It's fucked, and I feel really bad for all these people that have had to experience this, and I hope that this is the end of Cinder's career. Genuinely, I hope that the reality, here's the unfortunate reality. Cinder will probably continue to stream and will probably have a fan base. There will still be people who will watch her because there is a portion of the internet that have adversarial personality disorder who, no matter how much proof and evidence is brought that something is true, they will always take the opposite position on it. So there will be people within her fan base that will stick around and will still support her if she continues to do work. The best case scenario would be that she chooses to, out of embarrassment, bow out and never stream again. That will probably not happen. Knowing narcissistic people like this, she will simply scrape together whatever she can, maybe even go the grifter route, and try to continue to exist. The good news is at least that her professional ties are dead. The only people who will ever interact with her from now on are people who are clout chasing or people who are desperate for what she has. So it's basically clout chasers. That's it. It's better than a lot of apologies, but it's very not good for a few different reasons. So let's go through it. I read this last night, and I was it's pretty okay. So first big issue with this. It is a fucking thesis. It is a wall of text. It is a giant wall of text with no proof, no screenshots, nothing. This is already bad. This is already bad. It's already an issue. I'm not providing any evidence for any of your claims because she tries to counter some claims in here. Yeah. Is this the hard part 6 of VTubing? Yeah. But okay, so let's get into the actual article. Let me start reading it. Oh, this is gonna be fucking arduous, chat. I'm gonna have to take breaks between every paragraph because this shit is like an endurance. This is like running that marathon where they didn't give any of the competitors water in the 1920s. But okay, let's go. There's nothing I can do. I can say to make this better, but I will try my best to properly convey my feelings, frustrations, and mistakes. Already we have a problem. Your frustrations. You start the document off by saying you're going to detail your frustrations when you are the aggressor. I'd like to explain my point of view and apologize to each party affected. Redacted has been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do, and being a major part of why I'm here. We have also been in a relationship since the start of my endeavors, which is okay. It's good that she at least admits this and is not trying to hide this, right? Like, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, I am a strong believer that VTubers and other content creators have the right to privacy and don't have to reveal their personal information about their relationships. But the context here is important. It is important for a lot of things. And by admitting to this and revealing this, it honestly buries a lot of her defenses. It buries a lot of her defenses, and it also makes the response that she's having, the actions she's taking, be extremely lukewarm and not really. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. Basically, by admitting this, she basically buries herself utterly. But she couldn't lie about this because she's had already told multiple people that they were dating, and that information had already gotten into the public. So she couldn't just fucking lie, right? But the problem is, by admitting to this, the other lies then get buried on top of it. When you hold your pee, weakens muscles, you hold your pee in. You'll be wearing adult diapers by the time you're 40. Go pee. Exactly. Yes. Piss hard. Piss hard and piss proud. Let's see. It's no secret that many VTubers choose to keep their public and personal lives separate, and I'm no different. As of yesterday, he is no longer working with me, and I have not extensively discussed any. And I have not extensively discussed any of this with him. With our when our personal situation goes from here, will be figured out between us privately. I do not believe that they are breaking up. I believe, so this is my belief, chat. This is my belief. I believe, based on all statements that Cinder has made, public and private, that Cinder is simply going to try to destroy her boyfriend's public persona as a funeral pyre, as a sacrifice to keep her career running. It does not. I do not believe that she is. Also, this statement right here, the will be figured out privately. I believe this is a dodgy way to circumvent saying that she is breaking up, because they do not plan on breaking up at all. Yeah, it is scapegoating. These people. Also, another big thing. Multiple times, I'm spoiling a little bit for later on. Multiple times throughout this document, she says, I didn't know what he was saying. I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know what he was saying to other people. And that is complete and utter bullshit. As someone who has been in relationships in the past, as someone who has dated multiple people when I was younger, I can tell you something definitively. A couple tells each other basically everything. They tell each other everything. They yap about everything when they are hanging out. If something happens to one another or you're having discussions, it will come up in discussion at some point. She knew I do not believe in any circumstance that this relationship was set up in a way that he would just be cagey in private and never tell her anything, especially with the previous statement of he was been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do, and being a major part of why I am here. Are you really going to try to convince me, like I'm fucking stupid, that he never told you anything he was saying to other creators for the past 3 years? You have to think that we are morons to believe that. There is no way that that is true. Let's see. Okay, where did I leave off? I never intended to mention us publicly, but given the claims are out there, I want everybody to know I'm taking this seriously. After years of working on everything together, his hyper business oriented outlook worked my view of what it is I should be doing and what should be important to me as I navigate this career path, completely throwing him under the bus. She is completely throwing him under the bus and saying that it was all his fault. I'm just an innocent little girl. I'm just a silly little gal. Ooh, twists feet, puts finger into cheek. Oh, I didn't do anything. I'm just got manipulated by a big scary man into doing this. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. She is trying to just push all responsibility to the other party here. After years of working on everything together, I'm hyper my view of what I should be doing and what should be important to me as I navigate my career path. I have a terrible work-life balance as it is, and being around projects and streaming all day, every day, made me lose sight of the point. It took all of this happening for me to realize this behavior isn't normal or healthy and is not an outlook I want to have. How the fuck? How were you in content creation? How are you in this space? Okay, reminder. Cinder was formerly a competitive cosplayer. How were you in the competitive cosplay scene and then in the VTubing scene, and at no point anyone said, hey, fucking all your friends over is a bad idea and isn't gonna lead you anywhere positive? You only figure this out today? What? It took all this happening for me to realize this behavior isn't normal or healthy, and it's not an outlook I want to have. This doesn't absolve me of the things I have willingly done wrong and went along with. Oh yeah, went along with. Look at there, another like putting all the responsibility on somebody else, or the way I've treated people who were fully undeserving. In regards to Nanoless. For the majority of the time working with her, Red was the one almost solely doing the communications about new plans, negotiations through his private DMs. Nano had a project server we were all a part of where the actual art and models were worked on, but the conversations were focused around the work itself. I was not fully aware of the extent of Red's manipulation over Nano's commission decisions, and I should have been more diligent in my oversight. Sure you weren't. So there is proof later that it's posted by different creators that shows that this is a lie. There's provably the DMs and the timeline of the DMs to Silvertale proves that this is an utter lie, because she was talking to her about the model that she was getting literally the day after Nano had her cancel it. There is no way that is a coincidence. That is ridiculous to try to say that's a coincidence. This Reddit says it mentions Reddit like 40 times. Yeah, of course it does. Yeah. Let's see. I was not fully aware of the extent of Red's manipulation of Nano commission decisions, and I should have been more diligent in my oversight. Every time I had been told that Nano had agreed to work on a new commission with me, it had been willingly and with excitement. From my point of view, it was like she genuinely wanted to be working on these things. I wanted to work with Nano as much as I possibly could, making her art the face of my brand. We had come to the conclusion that it'd be in my best interest to talk with Nano about making more time for my projects by negotiating with her to cut out other work. This was wrong of us to push onto her, and it was wrong to the other creators who wanted the chance to work with her. She here very slyly avoids saying that it was not cutting out other work, but cutting out other specific creators, very specifically Silvertale, because she had a grudge against her. And other creators, too, that she had a grudge against. Because Silvertale, especially because Silvertale basically, in Silvertale's communication with her, she straight up told her, I don't want a transactional relationship. I'm not interested in interacting with you. And Cinder took that very personally and did everything she possibly could to fuck Silver over and get products taken away from her because of that. There was only one specific creator we were responsible for naming and pressuring Nano into reconsidering a project, but that's a lie. There were multiple creators, but Silver is the one that she was especially attached to. Not an entire list. That's a lie. Of her own volition, Nano canceled a large portion of her model commissions last September. However, the claim that she did because you convinced her to. That's what happened. However, the claim that I was just using her is wrong. I've always treated Nano with respect and as my friend. Okay. I did give her a lot of work, and we did everything we could to accommodate her schedule if she needed more time or a break, and even helping her with her own projects payments multiple times. I've invited her on my streams. I've sent her my merch. Yeah, this one is ridiculous. I sent her my merch. Okay? Who cares? Who cares? Wow, you gave her free merch. Who gives a shit? And I was always open to talking to her about things outside of our projects in the instances we would message each other. Regardless of the exclusivity deal made between them, I had no part in the direct negotiations of their eventual agreement, and I had no knowledge of Bao and Cotton being included in this list. If I had known my friends were included, I would have said something and put a stop to it. No, you fucking wouldn't have. This is just such an utter and complete bold-faced lie, and every one of these creators has refuted this, by the way. Bao, Cottontail, Shy Lily, everyone is already... We have statements by them that we'll be reading after reading this document, and all of them are like, no, this is fucking ridiculous. What do you mean? This is so... Do you think we're stupid? Do you think we're fucking stupid? Oh, my God. I was only aware it being about one person who I was unfairly pursuing. When Nano had messaged me about this agreement almost a month later, I was under the assumption this was about only about Silvertale. I was upset, and my initial messages to her were very guilt-trippy, but I wasn't going to force Nano to do anything she wasn't okay with, and tried reassuring her that it was okay with her decision. No, you... Guilt-tripping someone is trying to twist their arm into doing what you want them to do. That is literally what you were doing. You can't backtrack that, and you can't say that. You can't say I wasn't trying to get them to do what I wanted to do, but also I was guilt tripping them at the same time. That's ridiculous. Okay, I was upset that my initial messages to her were very guilt-trippy, but I wasn't going to force Nano to do anything she wasn't okay with and tried reassuring her that I was okay with her decision. Lies. Nano had also never come to me as seriously and professionally as her document was looking to address the issues she had with either of us, or to terminate our partnership. I had no idea there was even a conversation about Shallowly recently between Red and Nano until reading her document. It's true I had confided in Red that lately I had been hearing from Lily like I hadn't been hearing from Lily like I had in the past, and was worried something was wrong, but that's as far as it went. And he took it upon himself to try digging for more info, which is, this is continuing to just throw the boyfriend under the bus and take no accountability. And I was never even aware Nano was even planning to work on a model for another of my friends, Jiri. I do not condone anything about what Red said about Bao in these DMs either, and him using we and our in this context is abhorrently incorrect, and I believe was done to gain greater credibility behind what he was saying. No, fuck you. No, you don't get to fucking escape this. You don't go escape this and just say, he wasn't speaking for me, even though he spoke for me many times before, and he was integral to my content creation. Yes, Red and I were initially upset when Bao hired my editor, and I took it personally when I shouldn't have. I felt as if maybe my content wasn't good enough, or like I wasn't paying enough for his work. But I accepted it and it was happy for him for getting that bag and supporting one of my friends at the same time. And yes, I was also upset when Sack, the Boss Rush MV editor, had told us that he won't be working on any future projects with us and would instead be working exclusively with for Bao. But Red got in his head that it was Bao's fault that it happened and seemingly held a grudge against her for it. Oh my god, come on. Dude, no accountability. Will not take accountability for it. The only thing she'll take accountability for is the Silvertale things, chat. Spoilers. The only thing she takes accountability in any way is the Silvertale thing. And she tries to downplay that too. Like, she won't, anything she can try to worm her way out of, she does not admit to. He was very passionate about the Boss Rush and the potential future projects about it, but he told me without an MV editor as talented as Sack, the future project wouldn't reach the same heights. So we created this headcanon that let out those DMs. I wasn't convinced that was the case, but it's my fault for never speaking with about these things directly to clear things up and letting it spiral to the point it got to. Every comment here about her own music guilt tripping and claims about our shared feelings towards her are disgusting. And honestly, I honestly don't know why he thought this was about my close friend beyond the resentment over those two things, or why it was worth sabotaging her over. This is just, yeah, it was totally Red. Fucking, yeah. This is such high school response. It's ridiculous. One of us needs to be crucified for this. Who was making less money on Twitch? Yeah. Just realized that I don't care what she has to say. It feels like a kid lying about being caught in with the kinds of the cookie jar at this point. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it just keeps going like this. It's just going to keep going and going and going, by the way. It's just business screenshot. Oh, here's where she tries to explain the it's just business comment. The it's just business screenshot of my DMs with Nano's document was from November of 2023. I'll go into my thought process of everything I said here. What Red was trying to explain to Nano is that if everyone has a model by her, then the innate value of her models overall are diminished by there being an oversaturation of that type of model out there. If everyone in the world has a VTuber model done by her, then the value of having her model wouldn't be the same as if we're only a handful of them, which he viewed as a negative for me. I understand where he was coming from with this, but in the VTuber space, this isn't something we should pursue. She should have pursued. Oh my god, dude! See, more weasel words. But in the VTuber space, this isn't something you should have pursued. So it would have been okay elsewhere. It would have been okay in other situations, then, right? It's fucking ridiculous. And also, she's basically agreeing with that initial statement, saying that Nano's art is worthless if there's too many models of them out there. Ridiculous. Nano has an amazing skill when she's able to draw each of our VTuber children uniquely, so I was never upset seeing new model siblings. In many cases, I was there cheering them on at their debuts and looking to collab with them as sisters when I could. Me saying it's just business was referring to my acceptance of Nano's business decisions, whether if she chose to work with me or not. Fucking no, it wasn't. This was not in reference to anyone's model being canceled, further explaining to her that it's okay if she chooses not to work with me. I can understand where the next part can sound manipulative, but my intention was to reminisce about the journey we had together up to that point, since at this time I wasn't sure if this is where Nano and I would stop working together as frequently as we had been, and I'd have to look for a new model artist. Then I then encouraged her to work on projects she's excited about, while I talked with Red to find a project that would work with her schedule. All right, so here is the Silvertale stuff. When talking about Silvertale, I need to start at the beginning. Before I was Cinder, I was a pink cherry blossom girl named Tashi that did ASMR content. When the VTuber boom happened in 2020, I knew I wanted to join in. Yeah, because you saw money to be made. Red and I contacted an artist in October, and they were set to start my VTuber design by December. The plan was to take my cherry blossom persona Tashi and make her a pink and white wolf girl VTuber. In November of that same year, Silvertale revealed her Sakura wolf design. I had heard of Silvertale earlier in the year, but I didn't watch her streams at all. We knew we had to pivot before we were stuck with a design that would just be a copy of one of the most popular VTubers at the time. I've explained many times on my stream, I knew I wanted to be a wolf girl, so I mixed my love of Okami and metal music into the design and came out with a Hellhound. My name was originally going to be Ember, but Red came up with the name Sinder since it was a mix of Sin and Cinder, both hell and fire themed. It was only a coincidence that it ended up being similar to Silver. I was genuinely interested in pursuing a friendship with her and drew fan art of myself. I drew fan art myself of us together. Okay, all right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Drew fan art of myself and us together. How fucking creepy is that? You do not listen. If a fan wants to draw two VTubers that they like together, that is fine. That's perfectly fine. But you as a creator, do not draw art with yourself and people who you don't know. That's weird. That's like if I suddenly started getting art of myself and Iron Mouse when I've never talked to her before. That's weird. It's a weird thing to do, especially when you're the one drawing it too. Was it fan art of Cinder stabbing Silver in the back? Yeah. I draw art of Arthur and me getting married all the time. Here's the kicker. I'm pretty sure Silver was streaming her current persona since before COVID. Oh, she was, yes. Speaking of this, drawing fan art of a random woman you saw on a train. Yeah, it's like that. It's weird. It's creepy, right? It's very uncomfortable. Why would you do this? Other than to try to force a relationship. That's why she did it. She's desperately trying to jam these two people together because she sees it as a good business opportunity. Because she thinks that she can get somewhere by attaching herself to Silvertale's audience that is attached to the VShojo audience, right? Because VShojo also has bleed through with tons of other major corpos. That's what she wanted. She just wanted the numbers. And this is a manipulative, weirdo tactic to try to get someone to notice you, is what that is. Now, drawing fan art of someone is not weird or manipulative. Let me note that. Like, if you are just drawing fan art of somebody, like if I drew fan art of, I don't know, Sayu, right? That's fine. But if I insert myself into that fan art, that's weird. That's weird. But I draw art of me and you frolicking in the flowers all the time. That's different. Arthur's gonna run as you over with a truck. You're be hiding my art of pregnant Arthur and me. Oh, sorry. Gassy. On the other hand, Red was in my ear the whole... Oh, here we go! More blaming Red! On the other hand, Red was in my ear the whole time saying how great working together would be, since again, he's been the business-oriented side of my brand. Since I started streaming, I have been ruthlessly compared to Silvertale, being called the discount version of her, And I was accused of copying her design, copying her personality, even copying her laugh of all things. Yeah, and that doesn't matter. Stupid people, dumb fuck people on Twitter and Twitch are not relevant. It doesn't matter if some dumbass first-time Andy comes in and says, you sound like Silvertale. You just banned them. You banned them for being weirdos and move on. Like, especially if they're doing it maliciously. Like, these are just low IQ fucking morons. They don't matter. Imagine how small Red must be to be inside Cinder's ear like that. There's only certain cases where being okay and not feeling weird. And I think most situations it's weird. So we shouldn't make fun of you getting pegged. No, only getting pegged by people who are actually my friends and who agree to it. I almost typed good fucking riddance with my hands on keyboard, work computer, straight into Teams chat. Jesus fuck, this is dangerous. But okay, back to what we were doing. Okay, well, let me find where we were. Okay, let's see. There was a large number of people who were believers in the fact that I stole all of these attributes maliciously for my own gain, citing the art I posted of us together calling her an inspiration, when in reality this was referring to the decision to become a hellhound. The only time Silvertale was mentioned in the original design of my character was when we explained why we were pivoting to something else, and there were no reference to her character involved. I grew more and more resentful of Silver over time, between the constant belittling of myself and controversy around my first waifu cup and other incidents, even though she herself never interacted with me directly. Which is crazy. This is like actual crazy person shit. Of like, this person who's never interacted with you, never talked to you, and that you have no, this is something that's nuts. You have no right to someone else's time and attention just because you exist in the same space. That's crazy. It's just like it doesn't matter that I am a VTuber and there are other VTubers and they are around me. They don't, like, if I choose not to interact with them, I choose not to interact with them. That is it. That's it. You aren't owed anything. You're owed nothing. You're wrong. I have rights to Arthur's time and attention. I've given him like $20. The world owes me time and attention. Arthur, give me your time and attention. I demand it. No, fuck you. Oh my god. It was also the fact that it made me insecure. Like I wanted to know if she believed all those things or not. Who cares, you fucking crazy person? It doesn't matter. You don't know her. She doesn't know you. It really felt as if she didn't like that I even existed in the same space. So this is fucking headcanon. So at the point I was working with Nano consistently, we brought up not making any more models for her. How do you just bring this? That's not. So you just bring this up as a like? How is that normal? How is that a normal way? What? That's not something you just drop. What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? If a VTuber model is how everyone recognizes you, then it'd be harder to compare us directly if we no longer look alike to have that shared similarity. Then why don't you find a different artist? If you really have this much of brain rot, go find your own different artist who she doesn't work with and stop working with Nano. Instead, your option is get Nano to never do a model for them again? What the fuck? It was a wrong and selfish decision, but it made me feel better. Oh my god. Fucking millennials with their feelings and their avocado toast and their $10 lattes. And that's why it was a constant topic with Nano. Red pushed for this harder than I ever did because he knew how it affected me for years. But no matter what the outcome was, I wasn't going to walk away from working with Nano. Silver was completely undeserving of this treatment, and it was my own insecurities that led to making this choice. I became unapologetically evil towards her due to no direct action of her own. There's no excuse for any of this. Well, I mean, that's true. You have literally there's no excuse. There is zero excuse for the way she acted. I mean, she does still try to make excuses in here, though. That's the thing. She says this, there's no excuse, but then up here, she's like, oh, Nano was the one who was pushing it more than me, and actually, it wasn't that big of a deal, and but oh, we did it anyway, so sorry. Moving on from Silvertale. Oh, you're really fucking trying to run past this one. Let me talk about spite. Once again, I had no involvement or knowledge of Red bringing up Spite to Nano in 2023. My only personal involvement with excluding someone specifically from working with Nano was Silver. My design sheet and outfit were finished and made public at the very start of 2021. The first thing she mentions as a debut teaser in 2022 that was apparently posted on the same day as her original debut, which I honestly don't know if at the time was intentional or not. I don't know when I first discovered Spite, and it could have been after she debuted. When I first debuted, I was very possessive of my design details, and I had made it a year and a half since my design sheet was finished and public to having a full VTuber debut. That's fucking, by the way, that's fucking stupid. I'm gonna criticize people really heavily for this shit. This is fucking stupid. To reveal your VTuber design and then sit around waiting for model art and a model for a year and a half, 2 years? That's insane. What are you doing? Who the fuck are you working with? Why are you revealing in the first place that early? Like you're not a content creator at that point. Up until the point you actually get a model and start streaming, like, I mean, you don't need a model to start streaming. Let me be frank. You can just start streaming without the model. But, like, that's so insane to have that massive of a gap between, like, revealing something and debuting something. The big question is, though, does this even actually benefit Cinder? That seems like pointless. Even if she got someone to not get things for Nano, does it even work? It doesn't make her more money. No, it's just petty and childish is what it is. Like, she's acting like this is F1 and proprietary car design where any tweak matters. This is the model updates for streamers. Who cares? Well, it matters to the people who it matters to. It matters to those people who wanted that specific art. And it could, like, impact... The thing that it fucks up is people had plans with these people to make models, and they had it all locked in for a timetable, and then the models got canceled, so they had to find new artists and get them rebooked, so it's a huge time cost, basically. You got to think about that. It's a massive time cost and time sink to find a new person to do that model, and that alone is huge tortious interference and huge damage to someone's career of not being able to debut things on proper dates when they wanted to. It doesn't make Cinder more money or more viewers. That's what she believed it did, though. She believed that sabotaging other people would help her. That's what she believed. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's what she believed. I didn't want anyone else to capitalize on my concept before I could. Soon after my original debut, I remember Spite getting an update to her model that made it seem like she more closely resembled me, including their fire added to her model. Without evidence, I saw it and thought she must have copied me, but I never did anything about it other than voice my frustrations to Red. I didn't want to start drama with anyone, and I didn't have ownership over fire as a design detail. The reference for the ripped shirt and shorts outfit on my bikini model was given to Nano in June of 2022 with the purpose of having a cover-up outfit that would be safe for Twitch. The merch art she was referring to was designed around my concept of my fire changing blue. The fact that the rest of the art was grayscale was the artist's choice, since this is another, she's blaming the artist rather than herself, since it was going to be on the back of a hoodie. I didn't have any say, or at least I didn't counter that being the final decision. There was no intention to deliberately look like Spite with that piece. Unfortunately, both my Angel and Sleepy outfits both being... Okay, so I'm just going to skip over some of this stuff, by the way. This is so tedious and so unnecessary to describe some of this stuff. Basically, she's trying to defend herself throughout this entire paragraph about... like, all of this is just defense of, like, oh, I didn't copy Spite. These are a bunch of explanations for why I didn't copy Spite. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it's constant backfooting. It's not an apology. So much of this is not an apology. It's just excuses, and blame shifting. Spite also brought up another creator who reached out to her about the experience with me, and I can only assume it's Neon Tails. They are an ASMR artist who, at one point, posed a Hellhind OC for one of their upcoming ASMR videos, and it undoubtedly was created using me as a reference. That was right after my debut, and like I said, I was very protective of my design elements being unique to me, and I overreacted. Shortly after, I apologized, and they agreed to adjust the character designs, and I thought that that matter was settled. So, she admits yet again she's just a crazy person about her design, and like was just like, it's like if I went and tracked down every imp on Twitter and Twitch and said you can't do that. I'm the only imp. I'm the only one who's allowed to be an imp. Only me. I'm gonna call. I debuted imp before Rissa did, so I'm gonna fucking sue her. I'm gonna yell at her until she undebuts as a goes back to no cam streaming. Like, it's crazy. It's my original idea. I stole from Hell of a Boss. Yeah. Fuck, suck my dick, Arthur. Green imps forever. No, no green imps. Only red imps. Sounds like easy money. Why didn't you do it? It's not unusual for big streamers, but this is the most notorious blow-up crash out in indie VTubing. Yes, I would say this is the biggest for a this-sized VTuber. Absolutely, yeah. Let's see. At the very start of my online career, I was a GFE ASM artist. Before I started my channel, I had gotten into listening to roleplay audios of myself. Okay, so this part, I'm actually going to skip this part too. This is where she makes excuses for and counters the claims of cheating, which she does admit in this. She admits to cheating, but this, as I said when I was covering the documents yesterday, the cheating allegations are not relevant to the conversation. They do not matter. We are talking about professional backstabbing and tortious interference with contracts, and those are the issues here, not if she was unfaithful 6 years ago to her partner. That's not relevant. It doesn't matter, and it's frankly not something that Rayne should have brought into public. I think that if this was a resolved issue between the three parties in private, I think it is absolutely immature and childish for them to bring it out into public during this, and it is simply them clout chasing and trying to attach themselves to the situation. It is is she a bad person for cheating on her partner? Absolutely, yes. But it's not relevant to what is being discussed, and it's really weird to jam that on top of it. It's very weird to try to simply be like, I had a bad experience with them, and this is why, when it's the situation is not about what you're talking about at all. So this is a document that I did not see, or a individual coming out that I did not see initially. But apparently there's another person called Peaches that had that was based on this description was a. Once again, just describe this because we didn't cover it, so I'm not gonna go too deep into it. But apparently, a friend of theirs, Peaches, was came out and felt that they had been ladder climbed, stepped over, and left in the dust. And walked away from. And in this, they apologize to them and say, "Oh, sorry, ooh, so sorry, ooh, so sorry." Let's see. Don't deserve to be able to contact everyone involved directly to personally apologize, so I'll do it here in the chance that they read it. This is cowardly. This is extremely cowardly, and this tells me that they do not really care. Yeah, it's a non sequitur. Yeah, it's non sequitur. Yeah. So this right here is ridiculous. So you can't just, DM them apologies. DM them apologies that they don't have you blocked. It's insane to be like, oh, I don't deserve to. Shut up. I'm sorry to my pyro pups and my mods for expecting me to lead by a better example than this. I'm sorry to the VTuber community for looking towards me as someone to aspire to. I'm sorry to Kaiser, who put his heart and soul into everything he's ever done for me. And I'm not talking to you about how I felt. I'm sorry to the dozens of artists that have put their hard work into me. And I'm sorry for the rest of my friends who I've let down. I've led a bad example, and I don't expect forgiveness. I've made many mistakes over 5 years on the internet, and the only one person living one life, I get the first and only time like everyone else. As I said at the start, I ended up developing extremely unhealthy work-life balance, and the harm Red has caused with the way he viewed things as irreparable. That's so funny. That line is so fucking funny. Let me highlight this, chat. Let me highlight this. As I said at the start, I ended up developing an extremely unhealthy work-life balance, and the harm Red has caused with the way he viewed things is irreparable. Bro, no accountability. None. Yeah, not the harm we caused. Yeah. Jeez, the room head first, the wood chipper, yeah. The way I've been perceiving things lately is not how I want to view the world moving forward. And this goes to show that there's a lot I need to address and improve if I'm to continue being a creator. There it is, chat. There it is. All of this fucking yammering to, at the very end, say, I'm gonna keep streaming. I'm gonna keep doing content. All of this was just trying to smooth things out so she can move on and continue to make money. That's always what it was about. I'm devastated that the friendship so special to me may understandably never be mended again. May never be mended again? No one should ever be your friend again in this space. No one can trust you, and anyone who trusts you is a fucking fool at this point. Yeah, and then right at the end, I love my job and I love all the friends I've had. Thank you for reading. And this is the important part right there. I love my job. It's not about an apology. It's about trying to salvage her career. That's it. I didn't do anything wrong, Flutter's eyelashes. Yeah. Her stupid brain-dead fans will believe anything their queen says. Some of them will, yes. She will probably lose 60% of her audience, but there will still be a good portion that will stick around and continue to watch her going forward. Absolutely. What if I trust her to throw me under the bus? That's still trusting her, right? I guess so, yeah. She honestly thought this sounded like her hands were generally clean. Either she's a moron or thinks everyone else are. I bet you anything, Mega, her boyfriend wrote this. I bet you anything that she and her boyfriend co-wrote this document. I don't think she wrote it herself. I bet you anything he is trying to help her PR her way out of this. Now, we have a couple of responses. We do have a couple of responses from a couple of people. First of all, Bao made a response. How can you stay you didn't know? I showed you both my base model sketch from Nano at WeebCon. We walked on stage and performed together. You were in the group chat where I shared my sadness over Nano suddenly canceling my model after we were so close to begin live 2D and rigging. And now I found out that just the day before I shared my sadness, this is the conversation that happened that ruined months of a debut planning a merch preparation. If you want to apologize to me, please do it properly and stop hiding behind red. Yep. Nobody believes any of this shit, man. Nobody believes any of this. Because, yeah, look, these are the things that Red said. And then this was in their group chat that had her in there. Was Nano had to draw me as a client because her work schedule is too hectic. And she didn't care. She didn't fucking care. At all. She didn't say anything about it. She didn't try to help her get her commission back. She did nothing. And then this is Shy Lily's response to it is fucking absolutely it is a public execution. The absolute audacity to sit here and continue to manipulate and gaslight is absolutely insane. The pain and mental torment you caused the ones closest and most supportive of you has been devastating, and I have never been so heartbroken and hurt so badly for my friends. You are the fakest person I've ever had the displeasure of supporting, reading, and hearing of how you really viewed me behind my back, not just through screenshots of you, but also your very own messages. While having to sit here and read through these bullshit lies you spin makes me want to vomit. To claim that you didn't know a single thing and had zero awareness of what your man was up to when everyone who's shared even a single moment with you knows that you basically operate as the same person, sharing every waking moment while loving to jump at the slightest opportunity to turn into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given, even when talking about your friends is sickening. I've experienced your own actions without Red in a situation where, in your own screenshotted words, you expressed a, quote, pressure to live up to what Lily is, and proceeded to throw one of your most loyal and supportive friends under the bus after months of continuous planning just because you consistently choose business over friends, never feeling bad for failing them. So this is why Lily started to stop interacting with Cinder. This right here. There was a direct situation that Lily saw a warning sign and decided to stop interacting with Cinder, and that's where the paranoia and psychopathy from Cinder came from. Because Lily did start to not interact. So Lily, basically Lily here is admitting that raid from Cinder, she did intentionally not say her name. Because she didn't want to interact with her anymore. And she was ghosting her. Let's see. Just to earn the bag and compete with me over a V-card collab that you rescheduled to be on the exact date your friend needed you to keep an important promise. You actively lied about it to them instead of blaming me for a collab you rescheduled, adding me to the pool of excuses to save your ass when you realized you were being a bad friend. Why blame me for choosing to miss an obligation you agreed to on one of the most important days of that friend's career? So someone had a big debut on the same day, on a day, and she rescheduled a V-Card collab she was doing for Shy Lily to promote V-Card to the same day, and then blamed Shy Lily for the rescheduling. Which is crazy. That's fucking evil. Everything you do is out of competition through your constant need to one-up the people who are the sole reason you even have those opportunities and platforms to earn from to begin with. You're welcome, by the way. You claim that it's just business. Well, in the business world, there has to be accountability, and all you've done is try to shove it away and admit to nothing. In true narcissistic fashion, you're only feeling sorry about yourself and your own consequences and your career to try to salvage it. I'm sorry for everyone who looked up to you and inspired you, and I was inspired by you. I'm especially sorry for your fans. The Prio Pups deserve better.